Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our round of 12 stream for the Aspirant series season 3 or 4. I already forgot in the middle of that sentence. Mr. Gnome is joining me, can help me out. Is this season 3 or 4?
I think it is season 4.
Season 4,
Yeah.
awesome. And we got a lot of great Hearthstone goodness to get into tonight. Plenty of good action. But first, in light of recent events, we're gonna let our fearless leader, a roguish bard, he's going to read a brief statement on behalf of the whole Aspirant family. All
Sorry
right.
about that. Some technical issues.
All right, we've got a few technical issues with that, so we'll come back to that shortly once we get the nod that it's ready to go. In the meantime, we can break down the action tonight. We have 3 rounds of 12 matches for you. Mr. Gnome and I will be doing the first 2, and then later we will be joined by the esteemed Dragon Rider and the equally esteemed Anna Jane MTG. Our first match was going to be Germanshep versus Lawfuldog. Second match is LSVFanboy versus N8Biz. And we'll talk about the third match after this statement.
Hello, my name is John McConnell. You know me as the Roguish Bard, and I am the owner and organizer of Aspirant Esports. I also happen to be a 14-year member of the United States Air Force, and as such, I feel compelled to talk about the current events going on within my home country of the United States. I started Aspirant to give aspiring amateur and semi-professional players, casters, and producers the chance to have a stage to learn and develop and utilize their particular skill sets. People from all walks of life, all identities, and all spectrums are a part of our amazing community and team. It is through our diversity that we are able to develop into what we are today. With that in mind, we at Aspirant kneel with the Black Lives Matter movement, as well as vehemently support the right to peacefully assemble and protest injustice. Now is the time to stand up and make your voice heard. Last night, our Venus and Mercury League held a special charity stream in support of the charity Color of Change. I urge you to head over to thecolorofchange.org and see how you can help. We are stronger together. Now, let's get to the exciting round of 12 action. Good luck to all of our players, and remember everyone, aspire for greatness.
And that is that. Thank you, Bard, for making that statement on behalf of all of us. And thank you to all of the casters, producers, players, supporters, and Twitch viewers who help make Aspirant the inclusive and awesome community that it has grown to be. And with that, Mr. Gnome, shall we get into the deck lists for our first match tonight?
Yes, let's see what everyone's brought tonight.
Looking first at Germanshep, coming in with I would say, fairly standard 2 that we can expect from most players, the Egg Warrior and the Tempo Demon Hunter, and then rounding out his lineup with the Secret Galakron Rogue, featuring the new Questing Adventurer build that's sort of taken over in the last week or so, and what looks like a fairly standard Highlander Hunter list. Mr. Gnome, you got any thoughts on this relatively standard lineup here?
Not too much. I mean, it does look pretty standard. Highland Hunter has been kind of consistently a good fourth bring alongside Warrior, Demon Hunter. The Rogue is interesting, bringing the Questing Adventure and also playing the one of Prep to kind of maybe make that adventure a little bit bigger. But other than that, just pretty standard deck lists here. We see the Demon Hunter with the beaming sidekick.
No
And
Sigil Runner, though. I think the looks like Germanshep was the nerf affected his opinion of the card, at least, choosing to replace that instead with the Vulpera Scoundrels for some card generation to replace the card draw, which with the Demon Hunter's arsenal of really powerful spells, you've seen a lot of players turn to that, and it can really help out at slower matchups, but not your ideal on curve turn 3 play, I wouldn't say.
Yeah, Vulpera can easily just be a source of more damage from hand most of the time.
That's the last thing Demon Hunter needs. they've got plenty.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is just a standard list. I think the questing is the only sort of thing that we all haven't seen week in and week out. But they're, Germanshep, he's bringing lists that he know are reliable, and he's not going to try to break anything or bring anything too spicy at this stage because it is lose and you are out. It's just so he's bringing decks that he trusts that have performed well in the past and going to trust his play to get him the rest of the way. So let's see what Lawfuldog has in store for us tonight. Well, the orders are different, but from my eye, it looks almost the exact same. I think earlier when Mr. Gnome and I were looking at this, we spotted 3 differences between the lineups. But the one that Go ahead.
Yeah, there are some, but not too many. The one I noticed, which doesn't matter since both players ban Warrior, is he's brought 1 Sky Raider instead of for both Core Crown elites. But yeah, it looks pretty similar. Any differences you can spot between these 2 players?
The one that jumped out to me was the Demon Hunter list, bringing double Blowtorch Saboteur instead of Vulpera Scoundrel. And I have to think Lawfuldog is thinking specifically about the mirror there, especially when you look at that Hunter list. I think another difference I saw was the Bone Chewer Brawler in there as well. So I think he might be a little banning Warrior, knowing his opponent's going to bring Demon Hunter, just giving the very slight nod towards winning those matchups, maybe getting a few percentage points there.
Yeah, that is an interesting tech I've seen for possible mirror matchups I've never really seen before in Demon Hunter. Normally you see people running Ooze, but I don't think I've ever seen Blowtorch Saboteur. In fact, I had to look it up real quick to see what it does. I don't think I've ever seen that card played.
I only saw it today watching some GM, and I believe it was like the Bloody Face Just Saying Demon Hunter mirror match. Bloody Face had it, and it actually just really crippled Just Saying's curve, just because Demon Hunter, it has sort of the even decks effect where there's that 1 mana hero power lets them use all their mana almost every turn, and just making 1 hero power cost 3 can really make their early turns a lot less efficient, which can buy you the time you need to sort of swing the board back around. And Lawfuldog's got 2, so it's not unlikely we're going to see that come down and disrupt Germanshep.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that plays out in these matches here.
And with that said, I think we are ready to get into match number 1. As we mentioned, both players did ban Warrior, which I think if any of us were betting people, we would go into that. So we won't see those. But we're going to start off with a Demon Hunter into Germanshep's Rogue.
Hunter.
Germanshep has the crucial bat stab to answer those early 2 health threats from Demon Hunter.
Yeah, that backstab and Shadow Jeweler Hanar could be pretty good in this game if you can pick up some secrets.
Yeah, and the Hanar, even without any secrets, it almost has that soft taunt, right? If they just drop it on 2, it's a decent amount of health that Demon Hunter definitely will feel threatened enough to probably sink some resources into clearing.
Yeah, it can often just trade really well into some minions.
Go and backstab, take that early board control from Germanshep. And here it looks like I saw a mouse over. I have to imagine deciding whether to coin the Frozen Shadow Weaver or the Saboteur.
It'll probably just be the Shadow Weaver here. I think that's better. Going into turn 3 for Germanshep.
Interesting. I would have leaned more towards the Saboteur just to dodge Seal Fate, and I guess it doesn't really dodge it. It still dies plus the trade, right? But it gets to damage the Hanar. It does have good extra health. So it's not just a clean Seal Fate kill, but gonna come down anyway this turn. Kind of a clunky hand for Germanshep here. You have to wonder if he just tempos out the 2/1 drops here. Does have the trade with the Kobold and Hanar.
Yeah, I mean, you could just play the Kobold and still hero power, and then
Sure,
trade
that,
off the Saboteur.
yeah, and that does get you. It's not that bad of a turn to use to just use the hero power. You weren't going to really do anything else with the extra mana anyway.
Yeah, and could possibly save the stunner for a turn when you do have a secret in hand.
Yep, looks like Germanshep agrees. Going to try to save that to, because making a minion cost 1 more in an aggro deck as Demon Hunter is basically Silent Destroy, right? So if you can get that effect off, you're going to be in a really good spot.
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting decision for Lawfuldog here. I don't think the Saboteur is going to do much.
No, I think.
Lock it up.
Well,
Okay.
I'm not sure about that play.
Yeah, he already has a fully equipped dagger. I'm not, I feel like you save that till maybe even for a Galakron. I mean, I guess you can't save it for Galakron at this point, but
Yeah, Lawfuldog maybe just valuing more health over a freeze that turn. But I think the Shadow Weaver might have been better just going face.
Don't let the door hit
and there's
you.
the secret picked up that we were talking about. And I have to think Germanshep is optimistic here that Lackey survived, but about to get some bad news in terms of this potentially Warglaives coming down, clearing up the board, and interrupting the Aspirant turn. But even in that case, he still has the Kronks on 6 to spend all of his mana and draw Galakron that he might have to just play on 7 uninvoked.
Demons?
Yeah, I think Germanship's only played 1 invoke card this game, so not getting much value out of it yet. Looks like not opting to play the Warglaives there. Interesting.
Guess he's thinking, well, he can kill the Lackey, right? Which going into 6 is a big deal. And now he's got the trade onto the 1/2 if he needs it. And he's seen one backstab.
Is it cold in the shadows?
Yeah, I don't mind this. It also puts more pressure on the board versus Warglaives.
Yeah, this seems a lot better going into a turn 6 than just playing Warglaives killing 2 minions.
Return is nigh.
Now Lawfuldog on his maybe slightly more consistent turn 6 power play if he wants it.
I think you almost always play Skull on 6 when you can, right?
I think especially with Altruist in hand. The other thing he could be considering is if he wants to Warglaives this turn, and he could Warglaives into the 1/2, and then that would give his Battle Fiend 3 attack, so then a Battle Fiend Warglaives into Kronks clears it, but I don't really know. I feel like he just drew Galakron and his hand is a little empty, so you probably want to try to put as much pressure on the board as possible. But taking 2 hits from Kronks feels like a lot.
Yeah. Well, you could only just take 1 hit here.
Yeah,
takes 1 hit. Or
just taking 2.
I mean, that makes sense because you notice that Germanshep only has Galakron and 2 other random cards in hand.
Yeah, so he's not even dead to double of this, which is the most damage he could be scared of right now.
Yeah.
And I do believe Lawfuldog is running double I-beam as well. So even though they're not in his hand, it does in the long term give him a little bit more health to play with.
Yeah, just for some healing later on in the game.
Germanshep electing not to play the Galakron here, which I see. I think you're maybe a little bit committing to holding it for longer there, but he does now have 2 lackeys to go off with Aspirant and Togwaggle sometime in the next couple of turns. So you're likely to draw an invoke sometime very soon, and just 1 more invoke to get it to drawing 2 cards, which is so much better than just drawing 1 card. Like, the
Yeah,
jump from 2 to 4 is a lot, but it feels like just feels like a much smaller jump than jump from 1 card to 2 cards.
exactly. But we'll keep one lackey alive here. But hopefully get that Hogwarts off next turn.
Hey. Does that mean I'm a real caster now? I said the card and then it was drawn off the top. That's how that works, right?
Yeah.
Blizzard, hire me. Going into the
You-
Skull of Ladon turn here.
Poor warlock.
Oh,
Wow.
another eye beam. Okay.
So good at this. Dirty Tricks, which Lawfuldog at that point knew what was there. Germanshep only playing Dirty Tricks and Ambush.
Right. Yes, I think you just hold these for a bigger Altruist turn later on.
I think you do as well. He's a little low. It looks like he might be wanting to commit some stuff to the board too, so you can get a board clear. And you've got 2 cards that kill minions. You've got at least 4 hand damage plus all the Altruist damage. So with the right draw off the top, he may be looking at quite a bit of damage coming in.
Dark in the sky.
Right.
Germanshep rewarded waiting that extra turn. Just gets the
0
extra
mana
draw there.
question.
And I think questing was put in for Druid, but I do think it also, especially in the early game, can really turn the Demon Hunter matchup because Demon Hunter doesn't run a lot of ways to deal with the giant questing.
Right. And plus, if you can taunt it and Demon Hunter doesn't have Kane, they can't do much there.
Right, or I mean, they can sink 3 Warglaive hits into it if you get it big, and then they're dead. So
Yeah.
really, okay, so that's the card I was thinking about when I said the right draw, but I don't actually think he has quite enough mana this turn to pop off with it. Okay,
Just ignoring the entire board. Oh, he's gonna clear that. Okay.
taking the 4, sets at the 6. Is there any way he has lethal next? I mean, if this lives, I think that obviously helps his lethal chances, but
Yeah, but we can see it's probably
Don't see
getting
it.
returned back to hand.
right. Although honestly, a 6 mana glaive mounted adept is not that bad if you're Lawfuldog, I don't think.
That is true.
What about?
Of the minions returned to my hand as Demon Hunter, I would be pretty happy if this were the one. Like, oh great, another 4 damage. So I'm not sure if Germanshep really wants to give him that out, but I also am not sure how else he deals with this because he's only got the 1 Kobold in hand and paying 3 mana to get I guess the 2 and 5 because the Kobold or the Goblin Lackey could clear it.
Give me a quest.
Yeah. Germanshep not using his hero power for so long is kind of cripple his turn here a little bit.
Darkness waves.
I guess Germanshep will play the secret and returns to hand. So this looks like.
I would think so, yeah. Yeah, I think he set this up.
Don't let the door hit you.
Okay, so now a 6 mana glaive found a death looks pretty rough.
Yeah.
On this board.
Now Lawfuldog needs to end this game here, but I don't think he has enough.
Oh yeah, that 4 mana
Yeah.
Saboteur is really getting in the way of this this Altruist turn as well because it's just he's got the
Yeah.
the increased cards on either end of his hand, so he's just hand locked on going the Altruist turn. Looking, I think he's just I don't see any way out here.
Demons.
I guess double eye beam gets him to 13.
Do you see what must
You know,
be done?
keep him alive. But I don't know.
Down, lock it up.
Oh, is this just a clear? Are we just wrong? We are just wrong. Wow, great spot.
Oh, this is a clear.
Lawfuldog.
Yeah, I didn't.
Off the top.
Oh, twin slice.
So good. Oh, and he can beaming sidekick the Altruist as well to dodge that devoted maniac pickup.
Hey, I got
Exactly.
you, friend.
Wow, great spot from Lawfuldog there. I was thinking bottom right.
Yeah, I did not see that play at all. That was really good. And now I think Germanshep might just be out of this game.
What can he draw from Wondrous Wand? I mean, nothing. I mean, double Avis clears off the 2 4 health minions, but then you're sinking 8 damage into the. I mean, I think it's your only out though.
Well, yeah, I think Germanshep's already played one of this game.
Okay.
There's only one left.
Okay, Flick takes care of one. You got the Seal Fate with a little bit of help to take care of the other. You can flick the. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Flick one, Seal Fate, and Devoted Maniac the other, and then follow it up with Edwin.
Yeah, it seems to be the best play right now. Not finding that Titanic lackey. You're unfortunate.
Yeah, that hurts. It does a little bit feel like sometimes it's Rogue, and in this matchup and every one, you're just looking for like the 1 out of 5 every time, or 6 out of 13, or whatever the Twitter numbers were.
What? 1 out of 13. That was like from. I don't know. I don't even remember that. But yeah, it feels like you never get the one you're looking for.
Kane. Oh, because the Glaive Bound costs 1 more. I don't think that's enough.
Yeah.
I think this is actually just dead, right? We thought that last time, but he had Ultras. There's no
I
Ultras
grow
this time.
impatient.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see a way out of this one. He's just like a little bit short.
And I feel like that's I'm an aggro fan. We've talked about this a lot. You and I really love aggro deck. So that is a feeling that you just kind of have to get used to when you're playing an aggro deck. Is just sometimes
Yeah.
the damage off, and that's what it is. And it always kind of like can eat at you a little bit when you're thinking, oh, if I'd sunk 1 less point of damage into a minion somewhere, how do I get there? But he didn't this time, and Germanshep really using the strength of Rogue to just draw a bunch of 0-cost cards and go off with them in a few turns in succession, taking the win in game 1.
Yeah, it was a pretty interesting game. We kind of went back and forth there a couple times. We're thinking one of the other players, this is the last turn, and he was like kind of really turn it around there. So that was fun to watch.
Yeah, and really how it's the decision making under pressure of these players they've had to demonstrate to make it this far. It's just really easy on ladder to be like, I don't want to think this hard. This game's probably over. I can just get to the next game. But every game matters a lot more here. So they've clearly practiced that ability to sit there and before they concede, really just go through every iteration of cards in their hand.
Right. So now Germanship is up 1 game, only has a Demon Hunter and a Hunter left. So I think we expect to see Germanship queue Demon Hunter here.
I would think so. Yeah, I actually like queuing Demon Hunter pretty early in Conquest just because it's gonna get a win at some point. It's just it can explode so often. It's kind of like when Keliseth was a card. Like you just play that because eventually you're gonna have Keliseth on 2 and you're gonna win that game.
Exactly.
So we'll see what he queues up as we get right into game 2.
Me?
All right. Here we do see the mirror. It's be interesting to see how that Saboteur works out here.
That's a hand from Germanshep.
That is a crazy hand. Just a twin slice away from making it amazing.
I actually do. I also like the Battle Mage first instead of the Battle Fiend because your opponent. It's not that unlikely. Like you saw the mulligan, and I'm pretty sure Slice was kept. The mulligans are really fast, so I'm not 100% sure. But maybe a tracking, that's a card that's going to get kept a lot of times. So trying to bait out removal first, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, strike draw card, take the board.
There's the Volpira.
So I think this is an interesting turn from Lawfuldog. But he seems like he's going to play it before we get to talk about it. But I think the coin into Shadow Weaver is a really strong play going into his own turn 3, in which he can Saber Overseer Twin Slice. And also just would block the same play from Germanshep coming down.
Right. Is there no case for just clearing it this turn? Do you think that this play or the Shadow Weaver plays better?
Probably, I guess this play you haven't seen the first two. I would be a little worried about Twin Slice, but this way if he plays Overseer Twin Slice, I'm not really sure what your answer is. On the other hand, you get to save coin.
Yeah,
So if you do draw into Glavebound Adept, you can play that earlier.
it does make more sense.
That's why I love it. I feel like even people who don't love aggro have to love aggro mirrors, right? There's just so many decision points that can make or break a game on like as early as turn 2, right? Like that was, I don't know. I just think that in the Demon Hunter mirror, especially because you also have to worry about hand positioning, is just so fun for me.
Yeah, the aggro mirrors are actually like one of the hardest matchups to ever play because there's just so many things to think about.
Yeah, and it can feel weird as Demon Hunter to be like, oh, I'm in the control role in this matchup. My goal is actually to not die for the next couple of turns. But you can't do that forever, so you have to pick the moment when you put on the gas.
Right.
I see.
And Lawfuldog just choosing to take his time here.
That is interesting.
I debating on playing the I-Beam, I guess, and I like it. I mean, it's functionally healing you for like 5, right? Because Germanshep's always attacking next turn and buffing that.
I'm gonna win.
Right.
And rewarded for saving the coin, also picking up that Glavebound Adept. He can just coin that out along with that second slice.
Interesting choices here. Kind of leaning towards. I don't even know. Commend the Illidari.
That feels better. The caster in me wants to see Inner Demon.
that would be fun.
um,
I was also thinking maybe Feast of Souls for the draw, but Germanshep does have Skull in hand.
I think he has Skull in hand, and I think he also probably is in a role where he needs to, like, he doesn't really have that many minions and doesn't have a turn 5, so I think Command the Illidari is definitely the safest play.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate for me. I wanted to see, just like on ladder, I would be so angry if they killed me with a generated 8 damage attack.
That'd be
But as a
hilarious.
caster, it would be so fun.
Yeah.
The things I want as a caster and as a player are just complete opposites.
Exactly.
Looking like he might want to continue to save the coin and thinking about the Overseer hero power second slice play.
Odd play, 'cause it doesn't do much but give you an extra 2/2.
Yeah, I feel like at this point he's almost committed. I mean, he can still use the coin next turn without the slice too. So he can hero power coin Glavebound.
Yeah. Serve your master.
Wow. And Illidari is the nuts answer to that.
Yeah, this is nicely cleans up that board. Just Lawfuldog hasn't been able to stick a threat down this entire game.
Yep, and he's maybe thinking he's like kind of low on resources, but he's also surely thinking that card on the left is going to be the skull that's going to come down next turn. So
Yeah.
got to think how to maybe deal with some of this and apply some pressure of his own.
So I think maybe you could hear. Yeah, Shadow Weaver coin,
Is it cold in the shadows?
play 2 other threats.
Fires of vengeance burn bright.
Yeah, I like this. Just go wide. Put as much pressure on the board as possible going into the turn where you know they're going to have to spend all their mana drawing cards. Just really a really good point of matchup awareness from Lawfuldog there.
Yeah, just trying to stick something here.
And not really any great clears here.
Yeah, I think you just need. Well, you could play the Volpira and hope to high roll something. But I think here just play the Skull and hope to draw some good cards.
Yeah, I was like sort of looking at maybe trying to counter their stuff with Satyr Overseer, but that just dies. Oh, okay.
And these are great cards.
That is pretty much the nuts. I'm wondering, I'm really curious to see where this freeze goes.
Yeah, I like the free space because when into turn 6, you block off the Gladebound Adept, and then you can just clear off the Shadow Weaver.
Yeah, freezing face was a big turning point for me personally when I like started playing this mirror more. When Frozen Shadow Weaver started becoming common, like my instinct was always to freeze minions, and then for the first like game, I just kept getting punished by weapons, and I was like, oh, you big dummy, face.
Yeah, now this look as an option is pretty bad here.
Does set it up as something that needs to be considered going into Germanshep's next turn. It's just kind of like a dare. Like, you can develop your board, I'm just going to kill it.
Yeah, cause be worried about that Lawfuldog's last card possibly being a Satyr. If he goes wide, just mix up a bunch of tutus.
Yep. I think we're probably we might see the double sidekick on the Satyr here, just to really pump it up out of range, because that's puts it at 6 health. Maybe not, because 6 health is functionally the same as. Well, it's not the same as 4 because he has hero power. So I don't know. I like the double sidekick on the Satyr to make him take 8 from it.
Yeah,
Because he has to kill it.
Hey, I got you, friend.
yeah, you can't let that thing live.
That's a boy.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, Chaos Strike helps a lot.
Now you take 8 instead of 12.
That's a huge difference.
Or you could hero power play Kane.
I think I like that a lot more. I think hero power means you only take 2, 4, 8. You take 9 this turn. Or you can take 8 and like Kane clear up a 2 attack minion if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think the only other way is you have so much like overflow damage going into that. Okay.
Interesting.
Lawfuldog disagrees. Because I do also feel like the extra health on Kane is more relevant here than the extra attack, unless Lawfuldog is just gonna try to race here. That makes sense, I guess. He was maybe just thinking, I'm never gonna clear this board, and like if I spend those resources, I'm probably dead anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't have much left, and it takes a lot of damage from just clearing minions.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's Demon Hunter. I'm just assuming I'm gonna draw Skull of Vuldan at any moment.
Except when you don't, and then you just lose.
Yeah, but when you do, you just look like a god because you're like, yeah, it's fine. I have 3 0 cost cards. Let's go. Oh, and what's this off the top? Altruist.
Yeah, that is nuts. Ultras with a bunch of zero cost cards. Clear your opponent's board and do 1 billion damage to face.
Well, and while that was a fun road to go down, I also think that's kind of how Lawfuldog has to play this matchup at this point. Which I think he would probably argue with his play was doing, right? Was just thinking.
Yeah. Just trying to race a little bit here.
And Germanshep opting to trade as well, which just makes sense. I think the way he loses is off the nut, so the way you do that is stop him from dealing 6 and just maintain, I would say, it's a really strong hold on this board that he's had for basically the whole game. The snap hero.
Yeah.
Now I am complete.
As you can see from Germanshep's hand, that will be a game.
It is. With hero power, yeah, strike.
Yeah.
2, 4.
That's 8.
I yield for now.
Oof. So a commanding lead here from Germanshep right out the gate.
Yep, and has 3 chances to get a win with his Hunter, which is I'm a big fan of Hunter. I tend to put it in my lineups a lot. It's a deck. I feel like it has game against almost everything. Demon Hunter's really tough, but overall, I think Highlander Hunter, you're running Zephyrus. and you're running Dragon Queen Alexstrasza. So you've got some outs against anything, right?
You got all the scam potential.
All this game potential, and just like I think one reason Highlander Hunter has just been so prevalent since the Highlander class came out is their card quality is just so high. Like you can almost just kind of throw in 27 pretty decent Hunter cards and get somewhere okay, right? So I think Germanshep's in a good spot. But Lawfuldog does have the strong matchup of Demon Hunter and a mirror, and then speaking of scams, Galakron Rogue can just do whatever. He can get his own Dragon Queen Alexstrasza off of a Draconic Lackey.
And Lawfuldog has played Demon Hunter twice now, has lost both games. So it's got to feel a little bad if you're in his place.
Or a little good, because Fate just owes you this game.
Depends on how you look at it.
I'm an optimist. I'm a glass half full kind of guy.
There you go. That works.
But yeah, I think we're about ready to get into game 3 here. We'll see if Germanshep can complete the clean sweep. Oh, Lawfuldog just going straight for the mirror.
And looks like he doesn't hold your optimistic outlook here.
Well, he holds optimism here with the Coin Imprisoned Felmaw on 1 is
that's a really good play.
Pretty much your best turn 1 play. Maybe in the mirror, Coin Fairy Dragon is better, but oof.
Very slow hand for Germanshep, unfortunately.
Yeah, he at least does have a dragon to swing back a little bit with the Scale Rider there. I do want to double check his beast package. I think he's just running the 2. I don't believe I saw a Mana Saber in his list. So that Scavenger's Ingenuity will be, nope, no Mana Saber. So he's going to be getting a guaranteed Diving Griffin off of that.
Yeah, that'll be really nice.
That was happening. I'm sorry, Chad. I only have one screen.
Lawfuldog got the Zigzor too.
See, he was owed some stuff going his way. Look at what happens. I wonder. Are you thinking about just playing the Diving Griffin? Is that where both of our heads just went?
No, I was thinking just maybe playing either the Zigzor or the Scale Rider. I know, because you want to put something down this turn, right? So you don't just possibly take 5 to the face.
Right.
But is it worth it? Just because Zigzor is a good card to trade off it.
Okay.
Yes.
Zigzor. I was thinking Diving Griffin because it cycles through your deck and he's drawing a Faceless Corruptor, which isn't what you want to draw with that. But also Diving Griffin, if it missed, it would have traded into the Zigzor, was really my biggest thought. And that maybe was a little bit of Caster Vision, but this is open deck list, so Germanshep knows the options for Scavenger's Ingenuity.
But I guess
basically it kills a minion no matter what if you play the Griffin. Rather than now killing a minion after Lawfuldog got a value trade and hit you in the face for 5.
I think both cases are just kind of unfortunate here.
Neither of them feel good by any means, right?
Yeah.
They're both just like, ugh. Really like this play from Lawfuldog. He's just putting the pressure on. He has a basically a must answer card,
which Germanshep cannot answer.
Yeah, Hunter just never feels good being on the back foot. It really likes to be able to dictate the pace of the game. It's just kind of like a mid-range chunky deck, and it doesn't have almost any comeback potential.
Yeah, just going to hopefully set up for a Faceless Manipulator play.
Looks like those are both going to get cleared with the hero power, right? Zigzor and the weapon into the 2 minions. Dragonbane hero power face, deal 10 damage this turn.
That does seem pretty good.
Lawfuldog taking his time here, like a smart player, making sure doesn't want to maybe do something with the Faceless Corruptor or tempo out the use, but that just seems like the play. Uses all your mana, clears your opponent's board, deals a bunch of damage. Those are like the 3 tenets of playing Highlander Hunter, right? Use all your mana, deal damage, clear board. Like, got to do them all in one turn. Did
And-
choose to hero power before the attacks. I guess valuing
Yeah.
on his minions over.
I think that's fine because you just keep health on your minions. That way, Germanshep, it's harder for him to clear the board because he's obviously struggling right now to do so. So just valuing keeping the minions on the board over damage to face.
Yeah, it makes sense. Especially because he is one turn away from Bran. I think on turn 6 you would want to clear it up, but he has this in between turn. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
well, that's pretty good.
Well, he can't do that in hero power, which I guess you would call a downside. All right.
Just doesn't care.
Yep. I don't need your stupid hero power.
Yeah, Lawfuldog does have brand, so unless even if Germanship gets a taunt here, he's still
Yeah,
dead.
that's just it. Lawfuldog, I must say he looked, and it was an easier game, I will say, and I think Highlander Hunter's probably an easier deck, but he did look a little more comfortable in this matchup. It felt like there was less hovering around on cards. I don't know what he's been playing. He doesn't stream to my knowledge, but I just kind of get the vibe that he's been playing more Highlander Hunter.
Yeah, he definitely did seem more comfortable with this deck here and just played it really well. Just keeping the threats on the board so Germanship can't get back in the game.
Yep. All right, and after being down 2-0, a really strong game 3 from Lawfuldog to take it back, and then got to beat that Hunter 2 more times.
Yeah, could see a game 5 here if Lawful can get a win with Demon Hunter, since that's
Live for game 5.
typically a favored matchup. But Rogue Soul's not too bad against Hunter as well, depending on how the draws go.
Yeah, I feel like the stats have always kind of like slightly favor Hunter. But in my experience, that's such a hard matchup as Hunter if you don't just draw a really smooth curve. Like if Rogue is able to slow your tempo down in the early game as the Hunter, you just have such a hard time getting back in.
Yeah, right.
And Rogue can go fast enough that the race is often pretty close, especially a double eviscerate list. So I think either way, we're in for some interesting games. So let's hop on into game 4.
Ends now.
Yeah, will be the Demon Hunter versus the Highlander Hunter match here.
If we were just playing Stat Stone, then we could go to game 5 already. But Highlander Hunter can get the win if it has a strong early start, and Demon Hunter has what I would maybe say is kind of a clunky hand.
Hey, I got you, friend.
I mean, yeah, it's not terrible if he can get some draws, because Lawfuldog does have the skull on 6.
Sure. I think the issue there is you want to be pressuring Hunter down early. If you give it that much breathing room, it can really start slamming its big threats.
Yeah. So do you coin the Felmaw out here?
So you don't have a follow-up, but on the other hand, I think not coining the Felmaw is like a little slow. On the other hand, if you save the coin with your kind of slow hand, it lets you get to things like Faceless Corruptor and even Dragon Queen Alexstrasza earlier. So I actually, after having thought through that out loud, I like not coining the Felmaw.
Does make more sense, especially with a bit more of a clunky hand here.
Yeah.
All I see is weakness.
I honestly find like clunky hand versus clunky hand matchups like almost more fun than dream hand versus dream hand matchups.
Yeah.
This is a really wide board, so that Felmaw probably not going to do too much here.
Yeah, here I think you have to clear the 4-2.
Yeah, I agree. That's just too scary of a target to leave. Well, there's an easy way to use all of his mana for Lawfuldog.
Yeah.
The shadows.
Always use your mana.
Yep, fundamental Hearthstone.
And now have the Warglaze on 5 and the Skull on 6.
Yeah, that curve really smoothed out for him. Really, just the heart of the cards came through.
Ooh.
I don't even think you're happy about that. As
No,
Germanshep.
you kind of want to trade the 4/3, right?
Oh, I think you'd want to trade with a smaller minion because now this turn you could potentially coin Faceless Corruptor, and then you've cleared off 3
That's
minions.
true.
But that was obviously you want to hit something, I think.
Yeah.
But hitting nothing just makes this feel a little worse.
The one time you don't want Thelma to go face.
Yeah, I think it's they messed up the card text. What it should say is deal 5 face damage. Think coining the faceless, it seems like almost his only play, but it also just feels sort of bad because there's no great follow up. So
Yeah, but I think you just take too much damage otherwise.
yeah,
Because I don't think it like keeps you in the game.
oh my word. Is that just 2-turn lethal? 4, 6, 9. Yeah. Well, no, stuff will die. It's not 2-turn lethal.
Yeah.
This is 2-turn lethal, right?
Yeah. No. Germanshep's just dead next turn.
Right. He did that math very quickly.
I feel like when you play Demon Hunter, you need to be very good at math.
No, dude, you just get the deck tracker icon that shows how much damage you have.
There you go. Take the easy way out.
Always. So just to play this from Germanshep's perspective, he does have some value trades into a faceless corruptor to almost have a full clear and keep himself alive at 1.
Right. Which I think you have to do.
I mean, yeah, you're not gonna concede if you're alive at 1. Or you are. You just I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of conceding in tournament matches, even when it's lost, because like maybe my opponent will like misclick or something, and you never really hope for that. But I'm not gonna count out the possibility. And also, it gives. I usually am spending time thinking about the next game.
Yeah.
So you can definitely think of Germanshep's like doing that, like especially in this situation. I know what he's gonna bring, so I'm taking my time. I'm looking at the deck list that I'm gonna have to play next, and I'm just gonna let them do some stuff and stress over it while I'm relaxed.
Yeah, it's just important to use all the available time you have in these high stakes games.
It does feel bad shipping a 5 attack into a 1 health, but probably not as bad as this is about to feel.
Yeah, that's his game right there.
Yep, and
Oof.
I think we have to say an expected result, even with the sort of slow-looking opening hand from Lawfuldog. He he trusted his deck, and Demon Hunter is a deck built with a low curve, so not unlikely that he drew all of the cards there that he needed.
Yeah, it just really worked out. Now we have a game 5. Just beatings all around for both players. Just really quick games. Now we have now we have the Rogue versus Hunter matchup. Who do you think is going to win this one?
Oh gosh. I'm just gonna go with Highlander Hunter because it's like my pet deck. I don't really have any good statistical reasons for that. I mean, I guess stats wise, it's favorite. I don't have any good reasons in this series. I just like Highlander Hunter, and I want to see it win.
Well, I'll be a little contrarian. I think Rogue might win. I think the addition of Questing Adventure makes it a little bit better against versus Hunter.
Yeah,
Make a big one early on. So
yeah. Questing is definitely a thorn in the Hunter's side for sure.
yeah,
Just because if you deal with one, there's still a second questing and also an Edwin to deal with.
it's just so many big minions.
Right. But let's get into it. Let's see how it works.
Fury.
And there's one big minion on the coin.
Oof. And yeah, there's the Edwin.
Oh gosh. Where's Jay Alexander? He needs to be here for this. Got to see the big Edwin, Jay.
Oh, and questing and prep. This is looking up to be a really good start for Lawfuldog here.
Hold on, what does the Hunter have? They have a curve. They can play minions every turn.
Yeah. No spell to prep,
saving the Pharaoh Cat there to like juice up your Edwin or questing since it just dies to hero power. But I guess if they hero power, they're not playing a minion, right? And the way they kill you is by playing a minion. So
yeah. And if you draw Evis here.
Kind of sad to see the prep there just by itself with no spell.
Yeah, that's been one of the issues with preps. Like it's not good unless you have other spells in hand.
Right.
And
Yeah. Okay. Protecting that Zigzor from Seal Fate as well.
at least
Oh,
we've
man.
been really
Got the
unfortunate
board
draws.
Yeah, he's got these big guys that he wants to play, but no great way to make them reach their potential. I don't know. Do we ever just see like a 6/6 Edwin here? Like
Maybe
a stunner coin Edwin turn?
kind of almost have to, right? But it feels bad spending the coin because if you do survive longer, you don't have any play next turn yet either,
I wonder.
except a small questing adventure.
Sure. So you could also maybe try like questing. You could also just burn prep. I mean, if you're gonna do that, might as well burn prep, right?
Yeah.
I think he agrees, and this puts it out of if the 5/4 hits it, both minions will have to trade into it. So you just hit that breakpoint. I would honestly play that card though. 0 mana,
Yeah.
a minion +2/+2. That's a great card. That goes into every deck.
That's true. I mean, and Big and Druid played it, so
Yeah, this didn't even cost any more mana. Huh. I like the brawler here, honestly.
yeah, the brawler seems pretty good. With the corrosive breath on the Edwin just to get it down a little bit.
Yeah, I like that.
Or you can even hero power.
Oh, I don't like this. Okay. Well.
Hmm.
I mean, it can't be targeted, right? So you're gonna get 5 to the face and 3 next turn.
Give me a quest.
It does put more damage on the board,
Sure.
but it also makes you lose a dragon for your corrosive breath and a possible rotten nest drake off the top.
Yeah, that was kind of my thought. I wanted to play corrosive breath while I had the dragon in hand.
You just draw another one.
Oh yeah, sure. My bad. I forgot that the Germanshep is an absolute monster and just rips cards he needs. Wow,
Yeah,
what a god.
that worked out pretty well for him.
I don't know. Do you trade here? If they're cheaper, you have seen them the previous turn.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I think trading was right. So that card's just too scary. Maybe I'm just a baby, but
Act as your scale.
yeah. I mean, it is better to trade it off while it's low. You just never know what your opponent has in hand.
yeah, it's just not gonna get any easier to kill, right?
Yeah.
Scavengers for the diving griffin to clear off this 4/5 and let these minions go face feels good. You can even just toss down the diving griffin, because if they had Seal Fate, they'd have played it by now, right? So,
Right.
does float a mana. I don't know how much he cares at this point. The only play that doesn't float a mana, I guess, is Dragonbane Hero Power.
Yeah, you could Dragonbane hero power. Hope it hits the 4/5.
Yeah, I mean that's also definitely not bad. It's just you don't get the guaranteed kill in the 4/5.
At the very least, you've done 5 turns to face.
Sure, yeah, if you're not killing the 4/5.
Get the rag hit. So
Sure, and you also have Dragonbane on the board.
yeah.
Wow, Steel Fate coming in. Our caster powers are on point this game, I must say. It's like the third time one of us has said draw a dragon and like, oh.
Just predicting the outcome of these games here.
Think.
Gotta be Cartlet, right?
Yeah, you kind of just need to
He's
play
really
that.
low, and he has no way to kill the 3/5.
I think the card two's just delaying the game here at this point, unless you draw something good next turn.
Sure, yeah, you just never win. Probably not head crack. I'm gonna knock
Probably
it
not.
out.
I
Was
think
not cut out for it.
I think betrayal. No,
Betrayal doesn't kill anything. Well,
you could betrayal and seal fate though.
okay, true. Okay, but then the two streak is good.
What is an odd play though? Because now Clipper Disguise doesn't do anything.
Astounding.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
well,
It's
really, really unfortunate there.
Yeah. And Germanshep taking the win in I have to say what was kind of a series of just power spikes.
Yeah.
Really that carried players through the game. And that's not taking anything away from those wins. That's just like sometimes you just have the cards. And it seemed like all 5 wins in this series, with maybe the exception of the first one, which was like pretty back and forth, was just like, oh, he had the cards.
Yeah, it's just pretty. Just one of the players had a good curve, one of them didn't. But even still, maybe a few mistakes here and there, but well played by both Germanship and Lawfuldog. And congrats to Germanship for moving on to the next round here, the round of 12.
There we go. Germanshep
Yeah.
making his way into the quarterfinals. Important to note, the players that are already up there came in first in their divisions, so they got a bye through the first round. So that's why we had no Glocko, and I think Ace was already in there. Yep, Cookie
Yeah.
Monster Primitive won their divisions. So these round of 12s had to play in. But yeah, so congrats to who do we just watch? Germanshep for
Germanship and Lawfuldog.
going through to face our defending champion, No Glocko.
Yeah. No Glocko's been consistently doing well in these aspirant tournaments. So I be interesting to see if he can keep that streak up here, or someone can dethrone him.
Yeah, I mean, so
Oh.
this is your third season as well, right? I think both of our first seasons were the same.
Yeah.
And I really feel like the caliber of player has just gone so high so quickly in this series. Like, I just feel like season 1, I was like, oh yeah, I'm around here, and now I'm like, God, these people are all so good.
Yeah. This season's been really, really tough, especially I was in Division 1, which is one of the most hotly contested divisions. So it was a rough 7 weeks for me. I think I was like one win short of possibly making it into the wild card rounds. But yeah, just a lot of good players this season. So it's been really exciting to see them all play here.
Yeah, really just I don't know. Just gotta every time I get on the mic, shout out to Roguish Bard for creating such a great spot for like competitive Hearthstone to grow and give players an opportunity to practice against other really good players. But speaking of other really good players, with that transition that I just butchered, let's go to the decks for LSVFanboy and N8Biz, which will be our next round of 12 match. And N8Biz coming with the sort of the big 3 in Grandmasters, the Enrage Warrior, the Demon Hunter, and the Quest Warlock, choosing the 4th deck to go with the stealth variant of Galakrond Rogue as opposed to the secret variants we saw earlier. What do you make of that decision, Mr. Gnome?
Yeah, I honestly haven't seen Rogue all that much, at least on ladder, since the nerfs happened. So I know there's been a lot of back and forth of, well, is stealth better now? Because it does have a little bit more card draw. I think just Hanarj is such a good card, and the Stunners is still such a good card even after the nerfs. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're still playing Galakrond, you're still playing Edwin, no matter what package you have. So I think stealth's still a good deck.
I agree. And I think actually the biggest pull that sort of tips me to stealth for the most of the time is Spy Mistress. Excuse me. That just having that 1 mana deal 3 damage at any point in the game that you just get to play. It really answers Demon Hunters minions all really well for the first several turns. Warrior's banned, but it answers some Warrior stuff in the early game if you want it. Can answer a questing explorer. I think it's just a really versatile source of 3 damage for very cheap that can then fuel your draw engine in Greyheart Sage. So I think Spy Mistress is really the unsung hero of the deck, even though Greyheart Sage is sort of the payoff card for having stealth.
Yeah, from my experience, the stealth variant is a lot better against the Demon Hunter, particularly because of the Spy Mistress. It's just such a good card early on in the game. And we also have the Quest Warlock, a very interesting build here too. I see both Frizz, Kinderroot, and Sky General Crag.
I saw the Frizz, even though it's right below it, I somehow missed Sky General Crag. I feel like that's an interesting one. That's just kind of, those feel like techs in opposite directions to me.
Yeah,
Like Frizz, I think will really reward you in slower matchups, whereas Sky General Crag definitely seems like an anti-aggro tech to put up a taunt and kill a minion with that 4-2
right.
rush. I mean, I guess Frizz is there too, but the minions that you're gonna be discounting will, like, I don't know how much that matters. But I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. I've like seen lists running it and I've always been skeptical, but full disclosure, I've never actually played it myself, so I'm just making stuff up.
Yeah, I mean, with Quest Warlock, you're drawing so many cards anyways. So there's, even if you're running 1 or 2 tech cards, you have a decent chance of seeing those in the games you're looking for them.
Sure. And
And
then
we also have
pretty normal the rest of the way. And then over to LSVFanboy, who did not bring Warrior.
instead bringing both Highlander Hunter and Highlander Mage.
I'm so happy. I need the box. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I've been practicing my Brad Pitt impersonation all week. Ready for the box. But also bringing Spell Druid and, of course, Tempo Demon Hunter. And I feel like Spell Druid is also just a deck that's been getting a lot of players have kind of gone back and forth on it. I've seen sort of the pro community on Twitter talk about, there's one camp that thinks it's trash and one camp that thinks it's amazing. I tend to be on I think it's really good side. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I think it is good. I think we saw from the show match between RDU and I forget the other player he played against.
Case?
But it was Casey, wasn't it?
I thought it was an EU versus an NA, but it was another Grandmaster, so probably
yeah. And then I think Spudgered ended up winning 8-3 there. So I mean, I think it is a really decent deck if you can draw well. But actually, I believe LSVFanboy's Druid was banned.
Oh,
So
you're right.
Unfortunately, won't be able to see it. Yeah.
Okay, well, that was the discussion, but I do think I think LSVFanboy coming in with speaking of bans, he did end up banning Demon Hunter instead of Warrior, which is definitely running a little counter to some of the other strategies we've seen in Conquest sort of throughout this series. But looking at his lineup, I think it makes sense. Hunter and Druid both just have like winnable matchups across the board, kind of, except Demon Hunter, right? Like every other matchup is like about 45%, so you're in it every game. And Mage is pretty much the same way. It's not quite as smooth, but Mage is definitely a strong ladder contender, and especially against Warrior, Mage can really frustrate them a lot.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Mage and you have the coin, Dragoncaster Power Creation, that's probably a win.
That's true. That's true. And if it's not, you always have Puzzle Box.
Yeah.
Which is just fun. But yeah, so with that, we've got the decks, we've got the bans. I think we are ready for game 1. Looks like we're going to see LSV. Oh, we're getting a message. This is actually game 2. LSVFanboy apparently did win with his mage in game 1, so we will not be in the box shenanigans. I'm just going to trust that there was no RNG at all. It was just
a really fair win.
Yeah, definitely. That's what happens with mage.
Much like this hand from N8Biz here.
I was about to say, speaking of fair wins,
2 Shadow Steps coin Edwin. Let's go.
Does have the um Zephyrus in hand from Fanboy to answer it. But maybe tempted to just tempo
Yeah.
it out here. Nope.
No, I think it's too Zephyr's too important to save, especially in these matchups.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been correct, but he may have been tempted. Temptations are rarely correct. They're temptations. No one's ever attempted to do the right thing.
It's true.
All right, picked up the Mana Saber 2 to
Well,
smooth this curve, which is an inclusion that I've seen sometimes that I have to say I don't love.
yeah.
I feel like it really just screws up scavengers. Are we gonna see the huge Edwin? Oh nope. Gonna wait one more, maybe 2 more turns here.
I really want to see how big that Edwin would have been.
It would have. I mean, and it's not even. I feel like normally you wanna. I don't know. I feel like there was a backstab. There was some shadow step opportunities.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna have to backstab your own minion.
So I'm not sure if you have this kind of Edwin turn, what are you saving it for?
Yeah, I feel like you want to do it as early as possible because the only way Hunter really answers it is with Zephyrus, and the more turns you
Right.
are not doing it, the more turns they can draw Zephyrus.
But I guess Shadow Stepping the Draconic Lackey is better here since you're adding more value to your hand while you're playing out a bunch of other cards.
Yeah, he's not being punished as much for going as all in, because he's still getting to smooth out his curve. I think at this point also is when Fanboy is like, "Oh, dang it!" So
Unfortunately,
a 7 drop.
yeah, he does have that Zephyrus. It's a nice 4-mana 12/12.
Chooses he values his own minions over the extra 2/2, which is probably smart. Like if they can answer a 12/12, they can answer a 14/14. There's not it's not really a break point this early.
Yeah, it doesn't. There's not much of a difference at that point there.
Um Fanboy deciding how he wants to Zephyrus. I think he just probably Zephyrus first and try to get the silence, maybe the
Yeah,
owl. Death. Right. I don't know why I was thinking silence. You can just kill it. So he doesn't have
yeah, yeah. You can play the Death and then the Battle Mage here.
Yep. I like it. Um
Hmm.
okay. I feel like that was an interesting consideration is if he wanted to keep it stealth because now it can die and then he can't play
Yeah,
it.
because if he kept it stealth, he could have attacked next turn and played Bran.
Right. Um, yeah, I don't know. And it's not if you were gonna kill a minion, I could actually see that better too because it protects from both backstab and seal fate, neither of which he's seen this game. Um,
Right.
um,
So minor misstep there.
I think so. Also, I feel like Nape is being like a little greedy with that seal fate.
I mean, was there a reason to play that over
I kind of
Eviscerate?
like to play the seal fate instead of eviscerate.
Well, is it better to play the Seal Fate there rather than the Eviscerate? Because I think the Eviscerate cleaned up a lot nicer than the Seal Fate.
Um, I mean, mainly the eviscerate can go face and seal fate can't would be sort of my thought, but
It's
right here
true.
you definitely put a little more mana. Could go the way. I also would have just like been wanted. I mean, and lackeys too could have helped. Would have been my thought, but definitely might not. I'm not saying it. Definitely might not have been correct. I just went to the seal fate. Uh,
I think either play would have been fine.
sure. And I mean, he has other opportunities to seal fate, so it's fine. Um, could just drop another untargetable taunt here if he wants it. And honestly, maybe just ship everything face.
Yeah, he's not too worried about what your opponent has. Um,
Like you've seen Zephyrus, the other like scary cards. I mean, he does have some scary cards, but the 7/7 taunt is just kind of there. Looks like he's maybe thinking of this with the Rush Lackey to clear up one minion.
you can also backstab the 3/3 and
Hit it
hit
with
with
his
your weapon.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I think if you're gonna kill one, you're probably always killing the other one, right?
Yeah.
In that scenario. Still gets to ship 7. Seems good. Hmm.
Could drop Brand and trade.
I hate it. Hate it. I don't know what else you do, but I hate it.
I think this.
And you have to trade into the 5/3, right? Because you're
Yeah.
still aren't you still dead if you trade? Because I can never remember that card's name, the dragon with the death rattle, but it drops a 3/4, right?
Right.
Okay. Okay. Yep. Trading that. Oh man, that hurts. I'm
I
so
mean,
sorry.
he is technically alive.
It hurts because you know, like, oh, I'm alive, but I'm probably just dead. Like if my if my opponent's at 22 and my brain just had to trade, this is a rough game.
Yeah. Just send an 8 to a minion instead of face. Oh,
Oh well.
yeah.
Yep, I think he was at a point where he just couldn't have played around the eviscerate, much less the randomly generated eviscerate.
Yep.
If he has the 1 damage, he has it. All right, bringing it to 1/1.
Nice. Yeah, I
Nate
mean,
win.
yeah, did make that big guy win, but LSVFanboy was able to answer it, but just not able to get anything else down the board really to make any sort of like pressure.
Yeah, did he saw that he had like he could have the turn he got the Draconic Lackey, he still could have gone off with Edwin, right?
Yeah, I mean, he Nate could have gone off earlier with the Edwin, but just chose to clear some minions first and then go off on turn 4.
Right. So, but did he get the Draconic Lackey on turn 3? Was my question. I'm trying to give him credit for seeing the Draconic Lackey as the better line, but that might have just been lucky.
I think he did get on turn 3.
Yeah, I think that might have been the tipping point where he was like, "Oh, this way I can just chain this to discover dragons to go off on Edwin. So
Yeah.
then if he did, I'm not just dead in the water." So, actually, really heads up play from Nate and really showing some discipline. I feel like the temptation again to just like throw down on the big Edwin as soon as you can.
Yeah.
Just some really strong awareness to like the weakness of that is that I don't have cards in my hand, so I'm gonna get cards in my hand to basically make that play have no
Yeah.
weakness.
And those dragons ended up winning him the game. So,
Yeah,
really good play.
good job, Nate. Let's go into game 2.
So look,
Looks like maybe the win was with another class there. All right, we'll do this. We'll do this the hard way. So
Okay.
Nate has run with Rogue, and LSV has won with has to be Demon Hunter because we've seen the Hunter and Mage both queued up.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Now we will get to see the mage matchup.
So Fanboy debating whether he wants to burn the Ray of Frost here on the 1/2.
I don't think it's worth it because you do have the flame ward in hand.
True, yeah. Okay. Yep, coining this. I like this a lot. Just setting it up. Doesn't really disrupt the turn 3, but there wasn't a great way to do that, and he does have the ooze in hand.
Yeah.
And what are those? Oh, one of the Sky Raiders from the other one, and then that a sticky finger up there that I'm seeing?
Yeah. Fortunately, won't do much in this matchup.
Oh, it does feel so good in like the mirror, or if you're
Oh,
playing Pirate Warrior to just jam down your sticky finger that was
yeah.
generated on Sky Raider.
In the mirror, it's almost just GG if one of the players has that one.
So if you use now, then the 1/2s can trade in, and you're not really getting the value from the 4/5. But I'm not sure if that matters. Um,
Yeah. I mean, I
think
think you might just want to save ooze for when the warrior plays Corsair Cache.
sure, yeah.
Although might have liked to see Doomsayer because I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough turn because I mean, it's not like a true aggro deck, right? Like preventing them from developing on a turn doesn't do as much because they're always just kind of setting up for a big, risky skip return anyway.
Yeah.
I'm actually not sure about the ping at all, though. I think that was maybe tech. I think the really forehead play is maybe to not ping anything, and it matters in like 0% of scenarios. But battle rage is a consideration there. It's just like a weird thing to think about when you're playing warrior. Like, oh wait, if I can't kill a minion, hitting it at all is maybe bad sometimes.
Yeah, or even just getting punished by Rampage too.
Right? Yeah,
So,
but not punished this time. And actually, N8Biz with a pretty decent play, setting up the 1/8 if he wants to copy it here. I don't know how much 2/1/8s really help.
yeah, it's unfortunately just no Rampage to get the payoff here for this Warmaul Challenger.
And he does have both. He's did draw all of the weapons, so Corsair Cache is now just totally dead.
Yeah. I think he also has both skippers too.
Yeah. I
Just
wonder if he
no
just battle
bomb
rage
wrangler.
here. I mean,
I
that
think
has to be the payoff for this play, right?
yeah, I think you have to because you need to get something in hand because you really just have nothing going on.
And the other option is just to jam a skipper, but that can never be right.
No, never play skipper here.
Yeah. Okay. Just thinking about it. I think double egg. Um, that's a really good draw. Answers a 1/8
Yeah,
pretty cleanly, and then your 2/4 attack minions can clean up the other one, and suddenly you're looking pretty good.
yeah. I'm not sure how Nate can get back into this game here, unless kind of use the brutes, the bomb wranglers, to get some damage on board.
Yeah. He. Oof.
Just
How do you?
seeing copies of all of his cards.
I think you have to like swing battle rage here. Maybe no. Yeah, I mean,
Could play the other Warmaul Challenger.
yeah, that'll clear that unless you just keep the
Yeah,
1/8 poke face.
I think his hand is full, so battle rage is going to overdraw him.
Yeah, I realized before, man, before Blizzard put in the feature where you could like mouse over and they would like tell you how big your hand was. Or do you remember? Did you play it before they put that in? You had to just like manually count the number of cards in your hand. It was so much harder.
I did not play that during that time. That sounds terrible.
It was such a quality of life improvement. Yeah, this is just a chunky board that even like a good skipper turn has a hard time getting through, right? Because he's looking at 6 health.
Yeah, I don't think you can clear this board with skipper.
The
Well,
brute
there's a
help.
brute.
That'll
That
help.
helps a lot.
So is there a skipper turn here? I think it's not going to be an ideal one, but you have to do because you have both in hand, so you can get away
Yeah,
with one that doesn't do everything you want it to do. But clearing their board is pretty big.
and you a 0 mana 5/7
Also
or
pretty
five
big.
5/8. Yeah,
And you'll get the 3/4 out of the egg here. So this is the point where it starts getting a little hard. Is that a kobold lackey over in the back?
It's a
Looks like it
cobalt
is.
lackey.
So that's gonna okay. So you can like kobold. Oh, I can't see the health. Okay, it's a 2/3.
So I think you put the
I like the kobold there to clear.
yeah, and then play the battle rage. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Good sequencing from from N8Biz. That was honestly a pretty tough turn. Oh yes.
There's the box.
Fixing the box. 2 turns early if we're good. All right. Pretty much telegraphing what the secret is,
Yeah,
and getting relatively punished by Rampage. But I think you just have to do it.
just a little bit. So I believe you want to rampage the 5/2. I was like
Yeah.
playing the other brute as well.
Yeah, just going ahead and playing it. I was kind of thinking I like the egg actually, and maybe just like core crowning. Yep. And again, they are open deck lists, so our players know that um, knows the exact secrets that Fanboy is running because we
Yeah,
haven't seen any generated ones. Oh, gonna gain some armor.
that's interesting.
Pretty cheeky. I like it.
And opting not to play the brute. I don't.
I feel like you want to play the brute or the Corcron there. Because this board is now really weak.
Yeah, especially going into turn 8, which is one of
Right.
the power plays for mage.
Oh, this does set up 2-turn lethal though with Corcron into weapon. That's one thing
True.
I not see. Okay, so now this plays around Frost Nova a little better. Okay, I see you, Nate. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, that's a good play. Now LSV fanboy needs a
Hey, we gotta see what's in the box. Oh,
no.
boo. Oh, that's big. Yep, Nova Doomsayer. Oh, he's dead though.
Yeah, he's dead. Think you had to
Oh
play
no.
the didn't get to see a box at all. Very unfortunate.
Um, in fairness, there is only one Corcron Elite in Nate's deck.
Yeah,
And the Grommash. So he was dead to either. So maybe at that point um, you kind of play around both. But I think he had to. If he just plays the Ice Barrier there and doesn't clear the board, when does he ever? He's just dead the next turn. So I think that was a point where he rather than playing not to lose, he played to win, which is what you have to do in Hearthstone sometimes, and sometimes you get punished.
right. Exactly. Um,
So that puts us at 2-1 with N8Biz having his Warlock up and LSV still needing wins with his Hunter and his Mage. All right.
okay.
So
So now we have
let
now we get to see Quest Warlock in action.
yep. Just needs one win, and surely with I want to see. I want to see more. I want to see more than one game because I want to see how Frizz does. But that's a pretty nice opening hand from Nate.
Yeah, the Balmage into Felmaw. Never fails.
Oh, I was looking at the Warlock hand. That's also a really good opening
Oh.
hand for the Hunter. Let's trade now.
But yeah, this really good hands for both players here.
And I think if I pick in this matchup, if I'm playing 2 decks with good hands, I feel better with the Hunter good hand.
Yeah, especially against Warlock, which Hunter typically counters.
Yeah, even just from like the beginning of Hearthstone, really, when both hero powers do 2 damage to one hero,
Yeah.
that hero's just kind of under pressure from the get-go, right? Like this, gonna trade, keep the board open for his Felmaw. This is a pretty good ooze turn, though. Yep.
Yeah, I'll take care of that weapon and see where this Felmall goes.
Oh,
Oh, it doesn't go face this time.
we should have predicted it. Then it would have gone where we predicted it. But we use our power responsibly here.
Yeah, exactly.
I think this is kind of your only play, as weak as it is to Dark Skies, which at this point you're sort of have to play around.
Yeah.
This is exactly 7, which is, if I'm counting right, the amount of cards in his hand. Yep. Nate also shares my counting skills. Gonna take that clean board clear.
It's also kind of tricky Dark Skies because it says deal 1 and then deal 1 more for each card in your hand. So it's kind of like you're always second guessing how much you'll actually deal to the board.
Yeah, and I think there's a correlation between when the card first came out, how many times you screwed it up, and how many times you second guess now.
Exactly.
Because then when you screwed up, you're like, oh, it's so easy. Like, it just says what it does right on the card. But
Yeah.
is this the plot twist turn
Yeah,
here?
I don't think this is a plot twist turn
Okay.
because
I like it.
I think you typically want to say that for later on with a more full hand to get maximum value off of it.
Sure, and he's not, I mean, at that point, he can answer. He wasn't under a ton of pressure. This does make it a little harder. He has
Yeah.
it with the Nether Breath Rain of Fire if he wants. Or just plot twist. Sure, can't play
It's
these
gonna-
cards anyway. Might as well use them to complete my quest.
It's also going to shovel that coin in, which is interesting.
Yeah, he's gonna feel really bad if he draws that with the hero power.
Yeah, that's going to be a real feel bad moment.
Did heal a lot that turn.
Yeah.
Almost undoing all the work. That's
Yeah,
just that is so frustrating.
I think here you just pass. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and guess what turn it is?
King
Finally.
Crush time.
I feel like all night we've just seen King Crush have to trade, and my boy wants to go face. He's not satisfied with your minions. He
You
wants
know,
the hero.
now Nate can heal that all back up.
Well, that's not King Crush's fault. He did his job.
That's true. I can't really deal with anything else though.
Yeah, I think realistically as Hunter, I mean, sometimes it does just feel emotionally bad when you see them undo that work, but like you actually can put out a lot of damage.
You're right.
Just with your minions, like you just have so many threats that I know. I feel like to beat Quest Warlock, also you have to actually do like 60 damage as opposed to the usual 30. And they help you a little bit by hero powering, but overall,
Yeah, there is a lot of healing in that deck. It's kind of crazy.
the Diving Griffin can actually get him the Zixor, which he can then later kill off and immediately draw Zixor Prime. That's going to be buffed up with Scavenger's Ingenuity.
Yeah.
Oh
So
no, he's running Mana Saber, right? So maybe that does. See, that's why I don't love Mana Saber.
Oh, yeah. I mean, or you could just high roll.
Yeah,
and
I
get
just,
the
I mean,
Zixor
he was
Prime.
always getting. Well, I guess he could have gotten the 4/4. Sorry, I'm just so used to the list that I run. It only runs like the rush package is just Zixor and Diving Griffin, and those are also the only 2 beasts. So I know what I'm getting every time, and it also apparently it throws me off when I'm casting Highlander Hunter. I'm so
Yeah.
spoiled.
It is kind of nice to have that better consistency of running the 1/1 package with the Zixor and Diving Griffin. That way you know exactly what you're going to draw.
Yeah, and of course the argument against it is like, well, sometimes your Scavenger's Ingenuity doesn't get value, but I think most of the time it does.
Yeah.
Especially if you Scavengers on 2, and then if you draw the Faceless, then you're like, oh well, that's not it's not helpful at all next turn. But back to this game, Nate gonna go ahead and casually heal for 8. Speaking of
much healing.
consistency, having the second Moarg in hand, he knew those two were coming. A little bit harder turn to deal with now, though. Is that a Soulfire on the upside there?
It is a Soulfire, so you could clear off something.
You could like
I don't know.
Soulfire Mortal Coil, I guess, to draw another one to get to his power cards.
He is possibly dead to Zephyrus though here, so it is something to consider.
Yeah. Is he dead to Zephyrus? Is that Bloodlust? 15, yep.
What?
Right? He's got 9. Yeah,
What?
okay.
Yeah, Bloodlust is 18, 20.
Yeah. Yep, very dead. Is Fanboy gonna see it? I feel like in this
Wait.
situation, I almost just always play Zephyrus, and like, there's probably lethal.
Well, it's not lethal here because Nate's at 22, so he only has possible 20 with Bloodlust plus Hero Power.
Which is, so he's at 9. Okay, 8. Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay.
Yeah, so Zephyrus won't get Bloodlust quite yet, but it is close.
Part of me wants to do it anyway, but then you're worried about Alexstrasza, and you just burn Zephyrus.
Well, I don't think Zephyrus doesn't give lethal if you don't
Yeah,
exactly have it, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I meant do the Zephyrus and hit face, and like, because Zephyrus probably gives you like maybe like Power of the Wild there, or on 7 maybe like Gore Howl.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it would give you here. This
7, yeah,
situation. Supposed to get Soul of the Forest.
oh, Soul of the Forest would be interesting. Oh well, not the Alex you wanted, but is able to go ahead and clear off the board. Oh my gosh.
Here comes the Zixor.
These players are so good. This is if I could do that, I would also put Escape Mana Saver in my deck.
Is he just dead here?
Sick. Oh, Avenging Wrath.
Oh, Reggie Wright, yeah.
I always pick that card.
I keep forgetting about that one too.
Avenging Wrath and Gorehow are the two cards that I'm just guaranteed to not think about. So if you're ever watching and you play me in a tournament, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
See it, you're gonna live. It's fine. Enjoy.
I'm surprised because I played a lot of Even Paladin back in the day, but I just always forget now it's a card.
Oh yeah. Well, there was like some debate over whether to even include it in Even Paladin, right?
Yeah, that came a little bit later on, I think. But I don't know.
Felt like
I
it's
don't
okay,
remember.
it's 6-mana dealy. It's good. You can only have the cards in Hearthstone. I don't
Right.
remember what my stance was at the time, but now with my lack of memory, you put that in your deck. I just saw it kill somebody. Deck builder
Alright.
with Taylor. I believe we have a game 5. If our producer could confirm or deny that. I know there was some. Oh, nailed it.
Yep.
Got it. All right. Demon Hunter Quest Warlock. This is a matchup that in instinct, I like. When Quest Warlock was first coming up, my instinct was Demon Hunter just beats this every time. This isn't going to be a deck, but it has turned out to be much closer just due to the crazy amount of healing.
Yeah, it is a really close game. It just depends on if you can draw the right cards.
Oh.
Which he doesn't have the Sense Demons, so
That's some healing that he can save. No Questing Explorer.
but you kind of also want the Dark Skies too to clear these boards.
Yeah, this is not the hand you would pick, I think, if you were the Warlock.
No, definitely not.
Okay, well. He at least got damage enough. That's a weird thing in Quest Warlock where you want to get damaged enough that where you can use all of your healing. Does that make sense? Like you're kind of happy floating around like 20 or so because then you get every point of healing.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're at full health and you draw a Brood Mother, you're just like, oh, well, that was wasted.
Oof.
Oh, and this would play around at the top deck Dark Skies as well.
And even a Morag Rain of Fire.
Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty strong. Fanboy, a little bit nothing to do next turn, but I'm not even sure like he would do anything next turn.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can like, no, I was gonna say you could like Moar Mortal Coil, but
Doesn't do much. I think you might just have to play the plot twist here and hope to get um Nether Breath.
so you could Mortal Coil that to set up for the dragon next turn, but you're taking like a lot of damage to do that. Okay, gonna make hand space to heal up some more.
All
Okay,
right.
I mean, because Nether Breath will also kill the generated card. And you haven't, or sorry, not Nether Breath, Craze Netherwing. And you haven't used your Nether Breath, so you still got a lot of healing, but oh, that hurt.
Yeah, this is a lot of damage. And plus
You're
you're
about to
taking
be
3 more from the Netherwing.
I think this was the best play, but it's scary. Um, I mean, second slice glaive bound seems good. Also, he's got the Umberwing.
Yeah, it seems fine.
Yeah,
Just keep it
sure,
working.
kill it. Puts him at 7, sets up for a 2-turn lethal, I believe. Are you debating attack? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, you attack here, right? Like you just played a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, if Nate doesn't heal here, this will be lethal next turn.
He does have the Broodmothers to set up taunts as well if he wants it. But just gonna go for the Nether Breath with a plot twist.
Oof. It's always scary.
Ooh, nope,
Get it?
nothing.
Even a Broodmother.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh, that hurts. I still think Rain of Fire puts you at 6, which is you're then dead to Glaive
Yeah.
Bound.
So you could Mortal Coil twice to draw 2 cards, or play another plot twist and hope to draw 2 Broodmothers. Heal for
hmm,
8.
I think that has to be the out, right?
Yeah.
And then if you live, like your quest is complete or almost complete. I can't mouse over it.
I think
Okay,
it's
so
still completed.
yeah,
Yeah.
so get there.
Did he get there? There's
Oh.
one. Oh, I think that might just be enough. Yeah.
Mm. Eh, Do you?
Just
This is a tough call, I think. Okay. I kind of like. Yeah, this makes sense. You want
yeah.
to save the Wave Bound to just like push damage over the top when they do eventually play a Broodmother. Um, and like you still, in spite of all those shuffles, you still haven't seen another breath. Oh, all right.
Looks like
Got
we
a
have a match connection issue. Yeah. Yeah, I think drawing here is the better play. Just saying the glaive bound, and then you can play the psychic and battle fiend here.
Yeah, I think this works. I mean, you want to Glaive Bound just such a valuable resource, right?
Yeah. And Nate's still not out of the woods yet. He still has to get some healing somewhere.
Sure. And I mean, there's also just like, I mean, these two they're playable cards. Oh, hey, he's back.
Yeah.
They're like playable cards, but they're not the best. Like, I think he was probably hoping for like Metamorphosis or like a second Glaive Bound or even an Altruist.
Or a cane.
Kane is also great. Probably does have to sink some damage into this Moarg though.
Yeah, because you don't want them healing for 8 or possibly more. Oh, just choosing to ignore it, I guess.
Still no nether breath.
Could draw for it.
Okay, that at least clears the board. But
Yeah.
he is not dead. He's at 1 with what's in the hand from LSV
Yeah.
right now. If he chooses to Dark Skies. You'd have to trade the 2/4 into the 2/4 first. Oh no, because Moar will do 2 to everything.
Yeah. So this just clears the entire board.
Okay.
Kind of feels bad just floating 5 mana there.
Yeah, I mean, he saw a mouse over the Morg, I think probably for that reason, but realizing he just wants to sell it. Oh, yeah, I would love to top deck a Skull of Gul'dan next turn, right?
Mm,
You think Warglaves?
I think War. I mean, Skull could draw into Metamorphosis and Kane.
Wait, what did he
Um,
pick?
I think Warglaves is just good for some immediate damage.
Sure. And he knows he has the. Oh, there it is.
Finally.
um, Tap first. Yep, this seems like the play. Still so close to being dead, though.
Yeah. I did pick the Skull. Oh, well, there you go.
See, and he got Warglaves anyway. No way
Yeah.
am I being results oriented.
Just, just uber lethal.
He can Alex himself back up to 15 this turn, which I think absolutely has to be the play.
Yeah.
Oh, he probably is like probably really tempted to ooze. But I don't know.
No,
Six,
I don't think
six is a break point. So I'm saying he needs to do it because I'm seeing Metamorphosis in hand, and I'm trying to put myself as if I
Yeah.
didn't know that. But it's
But
very
he
hard.
could also lose and play the Broodmother and just consider that you're only losing the Kane.
Yeah, like exactly. Kane Metamorphosis off the top
Yeah.
from the thing. Yeah.
Not like this.
Also, yeah, the upside of this is it does put an 8/8 on the board, which will be probably frozen, but
Been a constant struggle for this Warlock. Had no early healing or board clears.
um, oh, that hurts. Putting up the taunt, and now he is dead to exactly Kane.
Yeah.
Or Warclaves.
Yep.
He was also dead to Warclaves. He was dead to a lot there. It wasn't just
So,
Kane.
so many things there.
All
All right.
right, and that'll do it. So LSVFanboy taking the win and advancing to the quarterfinals. So let's take a quick look at this bracket before we get out of here. All right, got LSV versus Cookie Monst, and then our last match of tonight will be Aviously, excuse me, versus Choose, and that will be brought to you here in just a little bit by Dragon Rider and Anna Jane MTG. Before we get out of here, Noam, any final thoughts on the matches tonight? Any trends you noticed in the plays or anything?
I've noticed from like both casting and like doing the recording and reducing side, everyone plays really fast. It seems like
What they do.
It's such a stark difference between watching grandmasters and they're roping each turn, and I know people watching hate that, but I think it's important to make use of all of your available time that you have to play. Um, but even so, I've been seeing some really great plays, even some that I'm missing for everyone here tonight. Just really cool to see different deck lists. Got to see Quest Warlock, Highlander Mage, some decks I haven't seen in a little while. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been great. And as a caster, I enjoy when players play slower. Sort of, it's like a blessing and a curse, right? Like
Yeah,
on the one hand, I have more time to say things, but on the other hand, I have to make sure I have things to say, and you don't always, right? So sometimes,
exactly.
hey, make a turn. Like you only have one card you can play. I can't talk about Blazing Battle Mage that long. Please just play it.
It's,
Uh,
especially priest mirrors. I don't envy those.
I think there was one series I was casting with Anna Jane that there was like the possibility of a priest mirror, and I was like, if we see a priest mirror, you're on your own. I'm just leaving. But we missed it. We dodged it. It was fine.
There you go.
Speaking of that, we are going to take a quick break to change over to the casters before we hand you off to the incredibly talented Dragon Rider and Anna Jane MTG. So stick around for our final round of 12 match for the night, and we'll be back shortly.
Hey folks, welcome back. We're back to cover the third and final game for the 12-player round of the playoffs here, going to our top 8, our quarterfinals next week. And I'm here with Dragon Rider. How's it going?
Doing well.
You actually just cut out for me. I'm not sure. I couldn't hear that.
Uh-oh.
I heard that, so I think.
Okay.
Okay. Apologize for that, folks. But yeah, how's everything, Dragon Rider?
Going well. I am excited to see this last match and find out who's going to be moving on to play against Primitive up in the quarterfinals next week.
Yeah, I know. We have Aviously, who was 5-2 in the regular season. They were second place in Division 1. And they're playing against Choose, who was our second wild card, beat Bill Snyder last week in the wild card play-in, and they were also 5-2. So they're pretty evenly matched this season. Just, having a little bit of the tiebreakers, definitely making Choose play an extra match. But they're all definitely like really good players. And interestingly, I was looking back at the matches earlier, and Primitive and Choose played each other in week 3, I believe, and I think Primitive swept with 3-0. So it'd be really nice to see Choose come back, and then take down Primitive.
Yeah, come back for revenge.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see, but he's got to get through Aviously first, and I'm sure Aviously's going to put up a pretty big fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so here we have Aviously's decks. We have Tempo Demon Hunter, which was the ban, so I'm not really going to go over that one too much. But we also have Bomb Warrior, Quest Warlock, and Gallocron Rogue. So the first thing I want to point out here with this Rogue list is, I actually haven't played in like 2 weeks, so my mind has been way elsewhere right now. It's really, with everything going on in the world. But I noticed that, they are playing the secret package, but there's no Bamboozle. There's 2 Ambush and 2 Dirty Tricks. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's a little bit interesting. I think it's just kind of playing on just trying to get through the deck, because there is also the 2 copies of Questing Adventure. So, running things like the double Dirty Tricks is also just trying to draw more cards from the deck and bolster that hand size, I think, to help with those Questing Adventures and Edwin.
Right. Yeah, that's the other thing that stuck out to me was, because I've been, just kind of been out of it for a couple weeks. People starting to pick up Questing Adventure. We saw it a lot earlier in the first couple rounds of the playoffs that we watched, and we continue to see that here in this Rogue list. It's also supplemented by a single copy of Preparation, too.
Yeah, I think, again, that just kind of goes back to the Edwin and the Questings, just trying to build those up and play something cheap. Maybe get another spell for free in there in addition to that. But I think that just helps aid in building those up and building something big onto the board that a lot of other decks can struggle dealing with sometimes.
Right, and the downside here is that you don't have any of the stealth package that we talked about, that we saw earlier. I forget who was playing it, but we were talking about how good Spy Mistress was in certain matchups, but we're forgoing that for the secret package, Questing Adventurer, Preparation stuff. So it's gonna be really nice to see how that plays out. We also have Quest Warlock, which is something that just completely I didn't see it a lot earlier. So when I came back to look at the decks for this week, I was like, oh wow, people are playing a lot of this deck now. And we have a Swamp Ooze in there, which seems to be a nod towards Warrior and Demon Hunter, I believe.
Yeah, I'd say so. Ooze is kind of coming back in quite a few decks, so I'm not really surprised to see it in here. And early on too, it also can just be a minion that if they're not playing a weapon, you can just play that early on for tempo and just to get something out on board to contest some of the slower decks or the faster decks as well.
Yeah, anything else stick out to you about this list?
Not really. It seems pretty standard to me. There's a few slight variations going around with the Quest Warlock list, but they're all pretty similar, so nothing too crazy, I think.
Cool. And then the last deck that we're going to see on Aviously side is the Bomb Warrior. And this one's got, it's a little slower. It's got has like a couple copies of Shield Block, a couple Blade Storms, which, you know, I've seen a couple lists that were more aggressive bomb warriors. But this one seems to be playing a little bit more of a late game. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit more control with a double Blade Storm. There's the double Shield Block, like you mentioned. There's a Brawl, as well as Deathwing Mad Aspect at the top. So yeah, very kind of control-y and kind of hoping to stall the game a bit, build up, put bombs in the deck, and kind of get a little bit to that later part of the game.
All right, and for twos, we have Galakon Priest. We have Egg Warrior here, which was the ban. Then we also have a Tempo Demon Hunter of his own and Spell Druid. What do you think about this lineup? Then we have the Ooze in the Priest deck.
Yeah, the Priest and the Demon Hunter, which kind of again speaks to like what you were mentioning with a lot of people kind of running multiple classes that have weapons. So Ooze has been pretty popular again in the meta. One thing I do want to point out that I find really interesting is this Druid list, which is running the Malygos Dragons package. When these decks were submitted, I think this was kind of the most popular variant, but there has kind of been a slowdown in the Dragon package actually being included. A lot of people have started removing the Malygos and Alexstrasza and actually taking those out and putting them in for other things. But this variant is only running one Wrath, and it's running that single copy of Growth, which I think is probably good if you're running into a lot of slower matches, a lot of slower decks who might, you probably aren't playing the Wrath in those games to kill things or try to draw. And you're going to want to build up with your ramp, so having that Wild Growth in there is great for that. But again, we just looked at Avi's decks, and that Rogue, the Bomb Warrior, maybe those end up being a little bit more aggressive and actually not as slow. So I'm really interested to see that. But overall on the lineup, I do think that the Priest is actually going to be the struggle here for twos. I think that Aviously's lineup is pretty targeted against this Priest, so I'm interested to see how the lineup does overall with Priest. I don't expect we're going to see that early in the series.
Right. When you were talking about those adjustments to Druid, the ban was the Demon Hunter, which is only like really fast deck on Aviously's side. The Galakon Road can have like a quick Edwin start, which seems a little more geared to than the decks we've seen in the past, as well as the Bomb Warrior can have a pretty fast start, but it's still like geared towards a slower matchup. So I think that might give the Spell Druid a little bit more of the ability to play like the longer game. So we'll see. The other thing that stuck out to me was this Demon Hunter list. There's 2 copies of Bone Chewer Brawler.
Yeah.
Something that I didn't really remember seeing before.
I think we've been seeing it a little bit. It's been one of those things where people either hate it or they seem to love it.
Okay.
So yeah, it's kind of been bouncing around a lot in the meta, it feels like. There's also only the one copy of the Spectral Sight, which is another one that people have kind of debated about. Is 2 the way to go? Is 1? Do you just cut it all together? I think ever since the nerfs, people have been putting that Spectral Sight back in. But that Bone Chewer Brawler, again, just another kind of early minion that if you're against maybe the mirror match or against another deck that kind of has something to play on turn 1, the Bone Chewer Brawler can really kind of stop that in its tracks and put out a threat fairly early. So I think that's why we're kind of seeing it.
Okay, great. So we'll see what our players queue up first here. Looks like we have the Quest Warlock for Aviously and Spell Druid for twos. Who do you think's favored here?
Yeah, I think it's so close, I feel like, in this matchup, but maybe slightly favored for the druid. We also do see the ramp in hand too, so that probably is going to work out fairly well for twos.
Good. And so we have quick pass back on turn 1 from twos on the coin, and obviously draws into. I forgot the name. What is that card again? That's the Keladin, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Killadin.
Mhm. Just hero powers, attacks.
Yeah, not much has really gone on the early parts of this game. Both a little bit slower decks. Not playing minions.
I think that's the third card drawn for Aviously, if I've counted correctly. And then this would be number 4.
Okay, we're just gonna see pointing out this overgrowth here, get that ramp started.
And then we have questing archaeologist to draw for Aviously. We're gonna tap, draw an Alexstrasza, questing explorer. Getting that quest up to 7 already. Then we see this one copy of Emerald Explorer for twos. Putting in a Stormu.
Yeah,
Obviously,
pretty interesting.
Obviously drawing an Abyssal Summoner, which is something that could come down next turn and just make a huge taunt minion.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna see that.
Clear. Yeah, clear that maybe the plot twist here. Just, like you were saying, they're already partway through this quest, so just really trying to complete this quest as soon as possible. Very large hand, so really is going to bolster that quest up here. And especially seeing when twos is going into that turn 7, which is a pretty big swing sometimes for druids. So
yeah, we could see a Mount Seller here, followed by Innervate, and maybe even a Bog Beam. Not sure. Nope. Just gonna play it.
Did draw that Abyssal Summoner again.
Right?
Came back to the hand.
Large Summoner Nether Breath being really nice, clearing out the Mount Seller and being able to return Aviously up to 29. And that second Innervate doesn't kind of disappointing once you just lost your Mount Seller.
I think we're just gonna see an Innervate into a big dragon here. Potentially Ysera, but the Nozdormu also just, again, a big body that just kind of puts out a threat.
Yeah, Bog Beam's gonna conveniently take out the Marg, being doubled up to 6 damage, which is nice. And Keladin gonna take down that Nozdormu. And we have Ysera.
So getting these portals, this is, depending on when these portals come out, there's already been some removal used from Aviously, so if these portals start to come out, it might be really difficult for Aviously to start to clear that board.
Right, we still have a Twisting Nether, we have a Zephrys, and another Dark Skies. Like one more Moarg, one more Nether Breath, so a couple Soulfire. So we'll see how how this removal lines up, but we have quite the board here for Aviously.
Two's drawing that overflow that could start to pull out those portals, but yeah, like you said, I mean, this is kind of a large board here that now twos doesn't. There's not really many answers here, and if you try to answer the board, you're not playing the overflow, so kind of depends on which route you want to take here.
You could overflow plus swipe with the Innervate. But that's not just going to take out the 4/6. Interesting to see what twos is going to do here.
I'm almost wondering, I mean, if you go for a swipe, I feel like twos has to go for a double swipe here, which
double swipe crystal power, yeah.
really this is just starting to also dump some stuff out of hand. So I kind of expect that we'll see that overflow next turn, just to refill the hand and hopefully pull out some portals as well.
Opting not to innervate into the hero power to take out to finish off the 3-1 and clear the board.
Life and hope.
Dragon Queen Alexstrasza from Aviously gonna get
We must stop this.
an Emerald Explorer of his own, deciding what to take here. Going with Big Ol' Whelp and a Viscera Unleashed of his own. Oh geez.
So many dream portals.
I mean, we're talking about this overflow, but you know, there's another plot twist for Aviously, which could get a lot of portals going.
Yeah. All right. One
So
portal.
we got a portal from Twos getting the 5/6 that makes a 3/4 when it dies. Forget the name. And then we see that overflow. We got a second portal. Thinking, I think it's the Paladin Nosdorma, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, Spellkin and an Alexstrasza.
There are a few decent bodies in there from those portals.
Let's get a couple Ironbarks.
Yeah, two can use those to bolster these up a little bit, but you know, it does start to also remove some of the potential for that second board refill later on, and it also removes some spells from hand if you know this board gets cleared and Twos would want to throw out that swarm there, but
Right. How much do you think Twos is worried about that one nether, or the twisty nether that Aviously has?
no, I think maybe Twos is probably fine if that gets played again because there's just so much more board fill potential. The second overflow in hand can pull out a bunch more portals. Again, that glowfly swarm in hand can also refill the board. So there is a good sized board here for Twos. It might hurt a little, but there's enough refill. I think it would be okay.
Yeah, I think Aviously also has to be aware of that Alexstrasza that Twos has on the left of his hand, because you know, letting this board, you know, passing with this board when you're at 30 is fine, but you know, if you could go to 13 or 15, you might just that. So something that Aviously has to keep on his radar too is like, where is that Alexstrasza? And we see that twisty nether the draw there for Aviously, which might come down next turn depending on what Twos decides to do or how many portals he draws.
And actually, speaking of those portals, the Zephyrus in hand for Aviously is actually deactivated right now because of the portals.
Oh,
that were
right.
So can't count on
Nice.
Zeph this game.
Not yet.
Yeah, maybe if
we'll
it
see.
goes really long. All right. Well, there's so many different ways to refill the board here, but this Mount Cellar now coming into hand and some spells in hand, so probably gonna see the Mount Cellar. I'd imagine. The board doesn't feel super great if you want to just throw down the glowfly swarm, so maybe Twos actually does go for this Mount Cellar here.
Do you think Alexstrasza is on Twos' radar as well? Like, just have to be aware of 13 damage on the board
Yeah,
when your opponent has that 8 to 13 damage.
I'm sure that is being accounted for, absolutely. But this Iron Bark does help that a lot too.
Of course.
So out some chunks.
And we got another Dream Portal.
Another
Bringing a Nosdormu. This is the one that actually does something.
Yeah. How many Nosdormus will we see this game?
So yeah, we trade here, trigger that Death Rattle, and Twisty Nether gonna clear the board for Aviously. We're gonna draw a 0 mana Malygos. Wow.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty
Just
big.
running it out. I guess there isn't too much that Twos can do about that, especially having burned both swipes already.
Yeah. Not great answers. I mean, Overflow could draw the last few portals, but
I think there's one left.
yeah, I mean,
How curious.
there's not much going on there either, really.
Like even hitting Malygos off of the portal only makes your Bulk Beam do 8.
Yeah. It's a really awkward spot for twos.
Mm-hmm. Option to just go with Alley and put Aviously to 15. 2 portals in a row for Aviously. 3 in a row. Jeez. Isura, Deathwing, and the Hunter Poison Dragon.
I think the caliber of dragon that has come out of those portals for Aviously has been quite a bit better than the ones that have come out for twos.
Right? So much better. There's another Soulfire and Mortal Coil.
Yeah, Mortal Coil.
Drawing into another dragon. You gotta craze another wing. So Alley Soulfire puts twos at 6. Malygos attack would put him at 2. So choosing not to just do as much damage as possible this turn and just plot twisting, drawing some other dragons, getting another Deathwing.
Oh, these dragons. Oh,
And then,
my
and then another Dragon Queen. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know what you're even hoping for as twos at this point.
Disconnect.
You might have to.
Yeah.
You might have to hope that. All right.
Oh man.
Malygos just.
Malygos for twos is 1. Wait, the Bulk Beam's only at a minion, right?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Oh, no.
How curious.
I definitely felt like Aviously has used the cycle, like, with those plot twists, pretty efficiently this game as well.
It's hard to get inefficient plot twists when you've got 7 dream portals in your deck.
Well, yeah, the portals made that very nice. And also,
Yeah.
layering the tap into the 0 cost Malygos was just.
Mm-hmm.
Victory is yours.
Yeah, just twos is done. Twos has seen enough. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that was a little brutal for twos.
Congrats to Aviously for getting that win there with his Quest Warlock deck. So, Spell Druid going back to the drawing board here. We have Bomb Warrior and Galakron Rogue. The decks remaining for Aviously. What do you think? What do you think is the better choice here?
Maybe. Oof. I'm not even sure. I mean, they feel pretty similar. The Rogue is probably a little bit faster and more aggressive. And that Bomb Warrior, we did see kind of has some of that top end. But I wonder what he expects twos to bring. Probably not that Gala Priest.
Right. Either trying to get a quick win with Demon Hunter or just running back Spell Druid.
Yeah.
So, it's anyone's call. So, who knows? There's only one way to find out, right? And it's the Priest for twos.
All right.
And the Galakron Rogue for Aviously. Twos is playing first this time, Aviously on the coin. Still deciding our mulligans here. Is there anything that you think here is a sure keep?
I'm wondering if on Aviously's side you keep that Seal Fate. There's probably not going to be a lot of early minions from the Priest, but there potentially could be. I mean, keeping it against the Sethic Veil Weaver is pretty insane.
Right. And 2 shipping the whole hand back, getting a Fate Weaver, a Time Rip, and a Renew to start with. And Aviously keeping one of the Praise Galakrons and throwing the rest back.
Picking up a questing adventure, though, with some low cost and the coin, that could be,
Of course, yeah.
be pretty big.
But that Penance in Two's hand is something that has to be on your radar, I'd imagine. You know, if you put down your questing, you hope you can get it up to a 4 and play around Penance.
Yeah. There is also Time Rip, which won't come until turn 5, so it is a little bit slower, but yeah, definitely some removal to think about.
Right, this Pharaoh Cat getting a Bone Wraith, which is not a bad pickup. That's a Faceless Lackey, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, I still need to get all those things correct.
So actually sees that Bone Wraith that you just mentioned too, so can probably gather that's what came out of that Pharaoh Cat.
Questing Adventurer. Looks like it's going to be the play for Aviously.
Yeah, I mean, with Backstab, Coin, Faceless.
Yeah, being able to get it up to a 5/5 and take out one of these 3/2s. And trade the other one with the Pharaoh Cat.
Yeah.
And clear Two's board and leave a nice chunk for a nice board advantage for Aviously going into turn 4. And Bone Wraith to play for 2s.
I think that's just slightly better right now. There's no hasn't been enough invokes for that Fate Weaver to be active, so just get the taunt on board, slow down some of that damage a little bit, and try to stall until you get a better answer. I mean, next turn is that Time Rip, so 2s has an answer for that questing adventure next turn anyways.
So we're gonna see the evil Miscreant and Faceless Lackey come back down here after that Shadow Step. Really pumping up that questing, but like you said, the Time Rip is going to make short work of that, I'd imagine. And deciding which one of these lackeys to play, either Titanic or another Faceless.
I like the lackey play, just keeping your board alive a little bit.
Right.
You know, kind of forces 2 to use either one big removal or a wide board clear, which doesn't deal with the questing. So kind of an, you know, impossible decision almost.
Yeah, I mean the Shadow Madness there paired with the Penance, you know, definitely sets up a nice way to deal with a lot of small things next turn. It's nice. Shield of Galakron to play for Aviously, getting an Ethereal Lackey. And we see for 2s, got a convincing Infiltrator off of the Invoke there. So for Renew, bringing 2s up to 25.
Healing. Lots of healing here.
So how do you go with the Penance?
I like the Penance pick. I think you can play it this turn, or the one you already had in hand, but you can fit it in with what you were already planning to do this turn, and you stock up basically to have more healing and just remove something else again off the board next turn.
Ethereal Lackey, given choice here, ended up going with the Dragon's Horde, which is getting, oh jeez. Crush! King Crush!
Crush!
Oh no.
We just need to see that Crush come down on 9 for lethal now. That's gotta happen.
Right. Oh my god. Alright, so we got a Mind Flare for 2s, which isn't too bad to get a Bone Wraith, but that seems really slow.
I do want to mention too. We talked about the deck lists earlier. This priest list is running Double Breath of the Infinite, Soul Mirror. I mean, there's also the Veil Weavers in there and double Shadow Word Death, and we have not seen any of that. The Shadow Word Death. I mean, obviously the time rip came down, but the Shadow Word Death would have helped with that questing adventure earlier. But we haven't seen any of this Riot of removal.
Right. I mean, we've seen like the penance and a couple renews, but it's just not able to keep up with what Aviously's been bringing here. Now we have a Draconic Lackey.
Yeah.
Like getting an Evasive Draconid, that doesn't get hit by Shadow Word Death either. Like it's almost a dead draw here. It's just like getting a vanilla 3/2.
Yeah, and I really like the way that Aviously is playing this as well, just continuing with the cheap lackeys, the small things on board, because this whole game, again, he has not seen that wide removal, so no need to kind of play out the big stuff yet. Just keep on board. There's already a lot of pressure on board with these small things that have not gotten removed.
Yeah, you'd imagine if Two's had a breath, there were a lot of great opportunities for Two's to play that and just hasn't.
Absolutely.
So, we see another time rip here, which, is an option for the shield, opting to renew first and see what we get.
Yeah.
Not great options.
No, not what you're looking for with your 7 mana.
Renew's at least a redraw there in 3 life. Like,
yeah,
not what you want, but you don't hate it, I guess.
Yeah.
You could get better. It's only invoked once, I believe, as well, right?
I believe so, yeah.
We're gonna trade off the Mind Flayer with the crown and a penance. With the shield, gonna play Convincing Infiltrator and get a Bone Wraith off of the Death Rattle. So a lot of defense here for 2s. Seal Fate gonna hit the Infiltrator for 3. Getting another Ethereal Lackey.
Eviscerate's looking pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. Just imagine they're going to clear up the board here and see what happens.
I like just triggering that Death Rattle effect first, see what dies, and then you can play out the rush if you want to.
Mm-hmm. For 2's sake, I mean, it did hit where you want it to hit.
Yeah.
Hit the one thing that it wasn't a 1/1. Eviscerate's going to clean up the first life of the Bone Wraith. Going to dagger the second one and just get in for 4 or 3 with these 1/1s. And we got Crush coming down next turn, maybe.
All right.
Soul Mirror is not what you want to see against this board.
No.
This is your Breath of the Infinite board.
Yeah.
No, not. Ugh.
I wonder. Just go for the Thought Steal here.
Yeah.
See what you can find.
You just can't play Edwin.
Edwin. Okay.
All right, Edwin Ambush.
They are things to play, which
Yeah.
is good enough.
That Edwin is the perfect size, though.
Yeah.
Although I don't think you're gonna crush into it, but
no.
and she's obviously already having Galacron fully powered up.
Yeah, and this sets up for a Kronk's, ideally a Kronk's finish next turn if there is still a board. Again, Aviously still has not seen any wide board removal, so hoping to potentially just finish the game next turn with a big Kronk's turn.
Right. Not sure which secret that was.
Oh, up to no good. Me too.
Got a Miscreant, getting a couple Faces Lackeys.
Don't let the door hit you.
A couple Blackjack Centers, one of them bouncing that Edwin. Not what you want to see. Excuse me.
I'm thinking of
If
that.
you're a football. Is this going to trade away an attack for another 3 plus 5 with the weapon? Bring 2s to 19. Is there anything like? There's not even a removal to like thought steal into, right? Like
Not.
nothing like that from Aviously stack. Like end up
No, I
getting
mean- I would say
time wrap.
Kronks would be the only thing you would hope to get, but you haven't even, as Tuesday. I mean, Tuesday hasn't even, Tues hasn't played his own Galakron
Right.
yet. So even finding a Kronks, like, you're not doing much with it. So
And it's in the hand. You're not even gonna draw it. Like you don't even get the card.
Quickly.
yeah. And obviously, Tues doesn't know that the Kronks is in hand, but I feel that's the only really kind of big answer or removal that would potentially be found.
Yeah, and this is just not a good use of Soul Mirror at all. And Aviously sitting here with.
I think it was Tues' only play, though. It did prevent the lethal because of that Kronks in hand. Yeah, little bit awkward. Not how you really want to be using that, ideally.
Right. So couple that he gonna check out this Paracat. Crank's buffing the board.
Don't let the door hit you.
And we're gonna stun the Kronks and return it to our hand for Aviously. It's gonna cost 7, but I don't think you care.
Yeah. Still gonna be another big swing turn that now Tues knows is in the hand. So how does Tues deal with this board and try to play around the Kronks that is in hand?
Like you get a couple invokes, like you can get a couple random minions, but I don't think there's even anything that like helps you there.
Okay, gonna
Maybe a Veil Weaver.
Yeah. I don't even know if that's enough. I think we're just gonna see that invoke here, then the Galakron come down and hope to try to live through another turn, but I'm not sure it's gonna be enough.
Yeah, so yeah, Tues is at 18 and
I mean, there's also a crush in hand, so
yeah, that just does it. Yeah. So we do get to see the King Crush come down for lethal. Oh, you'd love to see it, unless you're Tues. And then you have it.
And you don't. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
That not finding that early board removal just was really devastating for Tues.
Yeah, you know that game plays out so much differently if there's a breath in there to take out all of those like little minions, because we're just able to put so much pressure and keep the pressure coming. You know, it's only like 3 or 4 damage a turn at the start. It's just like you can't get anything to stick, and you can't make any sort of favorable trades because they're just making the best trades that they can and keeping the tempo the whole game.
So that does put Aviously up 2-0 so far. So just a warrior left for Aviously.
Right. So Tues has 3 options.
Yeah.
What do you think the best pick is to get this crucial first win for Tues?
Once that warrior, it's not looking good. Let's just say that. Maybe you just pick whichever one you feel like you have the best chance with, which they're all going to be a little close or slightly unfavored even, it feels like. So
Mm-hmm.
I
All
don't
right.
know.
Well, we'll see. And it's going to be Demon Hunter. All right. Obviously throwing those back really quickly. Getting 2 shield blocks and a Bomb Wrangler. And 2's throwing his hand back as well.
I think looking for a little bit faster start probably there for 2s.
I'd say he found it.
Yep, definitely.
The fires of vengeance.
He's got a Blazing Battle Mage. For 2's on turn 1, passes it back. Obviously draws a... That's the Blood Boil Brute. Just armors up and passes. We see an Umberwing from 2's.
Great setup going into the Zader next turn. Also just drew another weapon, so get this one out there. Start to use that over the next couple turns. Seems good.
All right, there's no sort of ooze or anything from... Oh, wait. Oh, there's no sort of ooze from Warrior to worry about, so not going to be able to take out your weapon from underneath you. So you're coming down, and we're just gonna send face. Obviously to 25. He draws a Battle Rage.
Yeah, it's not a terrible draw right now. Ideally, it's going to be used for much more card draw later in the game, but
All right, so we trade away that that Bomb Wrangler with the Overseer. And 2's just deciding to go face again.
there could be a coin here for 2s, just pointing out maybe that a death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, pushing a lot of damage face, getting a lot on board here, but a lot of answers and drawing a slam too.
Shield block and a shield slam, cleaning up that Glaybound Adept really nicely. 2's draws a Frozen Shadow Weaver.
Maybe debating between actually freezing Aviously here or just playing out the weapon. Kind of a tough call, but I don't mind just getting the weapon out here now because, like you mentioned, there is no weapon removal that 2's needs to play around.
Right. Save the Shadow Weaver for a time when you have something that you really want to freeze. Brawl the pickup here. Actually, just gonna cycle this Battle Rage for 1 card.
Skipper is a pretty decent draw here, though.
With double Armor Smith in hand, for sure.
Yeah.
So
And
just
not
gonna...
playing out any minions prevents 2s from being able to actually attack into the minions with that Warglaives.
Yeah.
Is it cold in the
So Shadow Weaver face here. We're gonna buff something with a Beaming Sidekick.
I got you, friend.
What's up bumping the Satyr? I'm just getting in for 10 here. Bring Aviously to 12. Or 8. Yeah, that's right.
How much armor will we gain as
With another Skipper? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Aviously has the potential for a lot of armor here.
And the Brute just being turned on by all this pinging.
Yeah, which I don't mind the Brute either here because it does really help clear up the board.
Yeah.
And it does allow Aviously to actually keep the second Armor Smith for use in the future too.
Right. We'll see.
Gonna go for it though.
You have to consider metamorphose, I guess. You know, that just could kill you out of nowhere.
Someone's gotta lead the charge.
So choosing to get a little more armor here. Going up trying to fight to 21. and a 23 now. And what is it? That's the 1/1 that gives you 2 1/1s in hand off of the Skyraider.
Yep.
And 2's hand is like pretty weak. You imagine this skull's gonna come down, get a Battle Fiend. There's that Metamorphosis, and a Mutant Sidekick.
No Altruist, no real anything going on in this hand, though. Like you said, it's a little weak here.
I mean, you can hero power and clear up 2 of these minions.
Yeah, as twos, if you leave these armor smiths up for too long, it just is gonna close you out of the game. There's no way that there's gonna be enough damage in 2's deck to get through all of the armor. Plus, in addition, all of the removal.
Right.
For all instances, there's still more removal in the deck from Aviously as well.
All right, so we see some really good sequencing there from 2's being able to use one of those slices to get an extra attack, being able to take out the 5/4 and then get the final attack after the weapon goes with the hero power to take out the last armor smith.
Love the feel of wind in me sails.
So the Flybooter. Gonna get a couple 1/1s in Aviously's hand. Another Bomb Wrangler. A couple Sky Pirates.
Also, Aviously has not drawn Wrench Calibers or anything weapons from Aviously's side either. So that's probably a little bit frustrating. We haven't seen that green skin, but that boom just sitting in hand, and there has not been any bombs put in the deck. So
Yeah,
kind of
that's rough. No, yeah, there's still 2 Corsair caches too to draw into. Like,
I grow impatient.
Is it cold in the shadows?
Shadow's gonna freeze that Bomb Wrangler. And she just has to do a lot of math here and try to figure out what the best option is, because
yeah. The double armor smith turn, giving Aviously all of that armor previously, just made this very tricky for 2's to try to figure out how to push all this damage through.
Now I am complete.
yeah, and deciding to play the Metamorphosis and just go face for 10.
And again,
Taking
kind of
out the Skyraider.
those slices, like you mentioned before, using the slice efficiently to clear something to buff up, minions on board, and then playing the Metamorphosis and using the last mana to get that 5 damage.
Right. Wormball's gonna trade with that Shadow Weaver. There's another Wormball Challenger in hand. So we're gonna trade the 1/1s away, and then Wormball's gonna finish it off, giving a 1/5. It's a pretty efficient turn to clear up the board for Aviously. Turning a lot of your really bad minions and taking care of something nice. She throws another Warglaves. Decide which weapon you want to play here to like unlock that skull.
Yeah, I was just thinking that same thing. It is a little bit awkward with that skull right there.
The slices are like whatever, you can just get them out of the way, but deciding which weapon is best here seems like a
Demons.
you can Umber Wing plus a slice. Or 2 slices, to take care of this Bomb Wrangler, and then
yeah, I mean, could
skull.
even play that. You probably could use the ping there from the Metamorphosis, probably just either to clear the minion on board, that 1/5, or just send it face.
Interesting. Okay. Just not worrying about the board at all.
Yeah.
Playing the Umberwing to get it out of hand. And then playing the Warglaves. Getting the 2 1/1s and then attacking for 4. Doing another 10 damage this turn to Aviously, bringing him down to 8. And we went through both armor tests and both shield blocks already, so there isn't a lot of... I don't think there's any other way to gain armor in this deck other than the hero power.
Tempo Dr. Boom. All right.
Oh my
this
god.
pickup is insane
That's
right now.
game? Maybe?
I think this is partly what Twos was hoping for with that setup. From
Yeah.
last year. Just the only consideration here is that bomb, which you maybe as Twos you want to hit that bomb first.
I don't think you care. I think this is
Well,
lethal, right?
You probably don't. Is it enough though if the bomb takes out the Altruist?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That is definitely an issue. I mean, you do get to re-attack if you attack with the weapon, but each Altruist is going to trigger a bomb.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, you take out the Bomb Wrangler first. Oh, this is rough.
Yeah, it's awkward for sure.
And choose to sudden, yeah, just throw the whole Warglaves away.
Yeah.
To protect Altruists.
Yep. And I think that's why we saw Twos kind of pause for so long thinking about the ordering there, because yeah, how do you try to get this damage through without any of those bombs killing the Altruist?
Right. Swampoos is a really nice pickup.
Yeah. Again, especially because we haven't seen any weapons from Aviously either. There's, like you mentioned, no for their cache even, so it's not even in hand yet.
We're just going for a tempo use here.
Yeah, just going for it.
Twos is at 9, so...
Yeah. Wow.
Holy crap, it was lethal.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to draw the... We had to play the skull first.
Yeah.
And we hit 3 things that we could play for 0, so that ended up being lethal. Holy crap, that was what a round.
Yeah.
What
a really nice spot from Twos, though.
Yeah.
You know, making sure that there was enough to clear out the Bomb Wrangler and the bombs before playing that Altruist.
Yeah, really well thought out turn. I was like, oh, this is easy lethal, and then you pointed out how the bombs can change that, and I was like, yeah, wow, okay, like maybe not, and it turns out you had it anyway.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Congrats to Choose for getting that first game, catching up by 1, still down by 2 games. We got to win 2 in a row here with Galakron Priest and Spell Druid against Aviously's Bomb Warrior, and hopefully we'll see some bombs this game. I wanna have to start counting.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. All right, keeping that overgrowth. Here we go, more ramp.
Spell Druid for Twos.
Yeah.
Playing first here, have 2 overgrowths in your opener with a Visera. And Aviously with... I mean, some of these cards are pretty good.
Yeah.
Turns out they're all pretty good.
Job done.
Choose draws an overgrowth, or what's that card? Overflow. There we go. And there's that Wrench Caliber for Aviously, so we're gonna see some bombs. Fungal Fortunes. Not hitting any minions. That's what you want to see. Why hello there? Nice.
There's been a few emotes exchanged back and forth between these players.
Oh yeah, I love it.
No, an Innervates or the single copy of Wild Growth would have filled this curve in nicely, I think. But
oh yeah, but unfortunately not.
There's the second or two.
Yeah. Aviously opting just to play a Warmaw Challenger instead of playing the Wrench Caliber. There's no oozes or anything, so definitely showing just maybe holding onto that coin for something. Alright, 1 bomb.
Yeah.
Two draws a Glowfy Swarm now. So just Overgrowth again here?
Yeah, I'd imagine. Knowing that the deck from Aviously has, again, that Brawl, the double Blade Storm.
And just risky, and skippers.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
There's the Corsair Cache. Gonna draw that Enkar, and gonna blank the other Corsair Cache because we've already seen the both range calibers.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna play Enkar attack. Reduce to 24. We're gonna see Usura come down, 7 Dream Portals, and probably pass. If he draws a Blade Storm, looks like thinking about just attacking first. Get that pirate and see what you want to do after.
Yeah.
And draws into another risky skipper. Skipper, Bomb Wrangler, and Battle Bridge. Can you get back up to 9 cards here? No, 8 cards. Aviously didn't take any damage yet. And attack 2 down to 20. It's got an Iron Bark, which is nice at kind of, stemming this slow attack to the face.
These swipes look a little awkward right now because of that Bomb Wrangler and the bombs on board again.
Yeah, of course.
So many contradictions.
I mean, you can attack the Bomb Wrangler and then swipe. Clear out the bombs.
Yeah.
Two's choosing between a couple really clunky dragons. Like, Onyxia not really seems that great when your opponent plays so many whirlwind effects. And Fairy Dragon just kind of underwhelming as well. I'm just choosing to go with Nozdormu.
Sands of time run low.
I've seen a lot of Nozdormus this match.
Yes, we have. Alright.
Yeah, we're gonna see that attack.
No more niceties.
Both bombs going face. Oof. There's an Armor Smith.
Looks like everything is going to plan for Aviously this game.
Yeah. We don't want to attack.
No, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, wait. I know we want to see what we draw. That's the fun part, but yeah, not.
Okay.
Don't just want to burn one. It's a Sky Raider. That's
some
South
extra
Sea Captain, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And shield block. Gonna go back up to virtually 30.
All right. I'm gonna call it now. I think we're gonna see this South Sea Captain end up helping aid in lethal, just like we saw the random crush earlier close out the game.
There's that bomb. There's one left.
This Mount Seller can do some work here.
Yeah, with the Moonfire, Bog Beam, and
yeah, absolutely.
Iron Bark in hand.
Iron Bark, yeah.
So Southie Captain not doing anything towards lethal, not at all. What is this? What is this minion? This 3/1. It gets a. What's the death rate?
See, I believe it draws 1 health minions out of the deck. 2 1 health minions. Yeah, so
that
nothing,
does not
really.
Not in this
it's
deck.
just a body on the board.
Yeah. All right, so there's a couple taunts here. Getting that silverback thing was fine, but Brawl's gonna clear out most of this. I believe a 3-2, which is pretty weak. Kind of hopes you keep one of those taunts.
Yeah. All right.
Attack 2's down to 6. There's Greenskin.
And also, yeah, this other wrench caliber in hand for next turn too.
Mm-hmm. We're just gonna armor up. Nothing really going on for Aviously, if that makes any sense here. Breath of Dreams the draw. I think we just overflow.
Yeah.
Get some health back.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to die to the bombs that are in deck here, which
Right.
ultimately you may end up drawing now, but...
Did kind of forget about the Dream Portals, though. So we have 5 left, because I don't think we triggered any before.
Yeah.
That's 4 left.
And really nice for twos, the portals coming out after the brawl was already played from Aviously.
Yeah, because you know there's only one brawl.
Right.
So I'm gonna cycle this Breath of Dreams.
Oh, nice. The second
Another
Mount
Mount
Seller.
Seller. We got 10 cards here, so we gotta play one.
Could just be an innervate hero
Yeah.
power.
Or not.
Yeah.
So no. I guess if you have, we got Isura off of that, so I guess it makes sense just to not burn the innervate, because you're gonna fill your hand up anyway, off of the dream.
Yeah.
Unless you burn, you're not gonna bog beam your own thing. I don't think that's. You're
Yeah.
not gonna waste the bog beam. So I think it makes sense not to burn the innervate there. I just missed the Isura. So Risky Skipper, Armorsmith, Wrench Caliber. And then a Blood Boiler Brute for Aviously. We got our second bomb, I believe. Breath of Dreams burned. Not something you're really losing any sleep over.
But it wasn't a
Hopefully.
bomb either. Two's
Yeah.
gonna be really hoping to burn a bomb there, but
I mean, it's true.
How curious.
I mean, I think trading the poisonous into the Blood Boiler Brute seems obvious here. There's just a lot of options for twos.
yeah. Wow, yeah. I mean, maybe you trade. You probably don't even want to trade into the Armorsmith first if you're gonna go, or do you? I don't know if that one armor really makes a difference.
I know. I can't imagine an armor making a difference when your opponent's at 34. Like, but that, I mean, that's fine. All right,
Okay, I'm gonna go Alex Strauza.
we're gonna alley. We're gonna put Aviously to 17, and then we're gonna get a. That's the return to hand, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And two's filling a hand up back at 10, so insulating against a bomb for the draw return, which is nice. We're gonna attack the Risky Skipper in Blade Storm. Gonna take out Alex Strauza and Usara. Greenskin, buffing the Wrench Caliber. Gonna armor up. Put two's down to 4. And get a third bomb on the deck. And there we go. You
Wow.
burned a bomb.
Dodged, dying right
Well done, twos.
there. And
Now-
also on two's end, knows because it is open deck list, there are no charge minions in Aviously's deck.
Right, there's no core crown of 8.
Right. So even hovering so low on life, twos knows that he's gonna be safe.
Oh no, there is a Grommash.
Why, hello there.
Oh, you're right. There it is. Oh my gosh. All right.
Where did this come from? I just missed that. Where was this? Oh, this was off of.
It was on board, yeah. Played the generated card from Ysera to put that back in hand and play it out to heal.
Oh my god! And then Gramash was a draw for Aviously. Oh god.
I can wait long
Oh god. Aviously just gonna burn that Corsair cache, and we're gonna attack. Not attacking with the Wrench Caliber. Gonna save that maybe to clear a minion. You don't have any other weapons. So yeah, we have Malagos coming down here. Jesus. That was crazy. I just like glance over the deck list or stuff and I look over and I'm like, where'd you play that?
Yeah. Things can change real quickly in Hearthstone.
I think like Nidori or something's the name. Nozor, I forget. Yeah.
Nazari.
Nozari, okay. Yeah. Like also saving the wrench caliber here also helps you guarantee 2 minions off of the off of the Blastmaster boom. If you go through all of the, if 2 draws the other 2 bombs, then your boom isn't going to make anything. So,
I mean, is this still the same game where we already saw the tempo Dr. Boom come down earlier?
I think that was last game.
I know, I can't even remember, these games are so long.
All right, so we got 2 Dream Portals in a row, then a bomb. All right. Crystal Power Size kind of undoes that bomb if you want.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of extra on board as well too here. It can
It's a
actually
lifesteal.
clear the route.
Yeah, I think there's 1 bomb left right now and 2 Dream Portals.
So
Yeah,
many
that sounds right.
contradictions.
I think there is only 1 bomb left.
Yeah. I've got 2 dice out here keeping track. Shout out to Kazgar for that for that little tip. Didn't realize it would help come in handy with Dream Portals too. Is this Glowfly Swarm here? We saw both Blade Storms, and I think we saw both Risky Skippers too, right? And the Brawl.
Yeah, so now go for it. All that removal is gone.
Stand the time
Right.
run low. How
I
curious.
supply only the finest creatures.
I can see a Mount Seller innervate into a swipe, taking care of this
No
Blood
more
Whale
than
for
my
you.
I wonder if Twos wants to use that that crystal power for healing.
Yeah, I mean, there's the boom. Called it. All right, so it was like an attack face here. Put 2s down to 9. And then drop that boom.
I wonder.
So
Probably love to be able to play both the boom and the shield block just for a little bit of armor here, but
yeah. So yeah, so 2 bombs in the deck. Get 4 boom bots. And we got 1 Dream Portal left. We got a 5/6 Vanilla Dragon there. Dodged a bomb. So the Crystal Power gonna prevent lethal from bombs. Still have to deal with this board. And with that spell damage boost from that Azure Drake, like that Moonfire is pretty good, pretty powerful, but I don't imagine, Crystal Power can do 4. Like you can take out Boom with the Crystal Power and the Moonfire, but you think you just really need the heal here. Even with the Overflow in hand. Because I mean Overflow into bombs is not a good combination.
yeah.
So we're gonna lifesteal, attack for 2. Moonfire.
Oof.
Ugh. And just
Yeah.
trading with the Boombot with the Azure Drake.
Well,
King Mukla into Boom. Bombs just trading away everywhere. Crystal power healing. Yes. Going up to 16. This is a teaching moment. Yeah. Everyone in chat. This is a teaching moment. This is how you learn how to not die to Bomb Warrior. I don't know about winning, but Tuz is doing a great job at not dying.
I mean, maybe if it can just get to the point where Aviously is just out of things to do.
Out of cards.
You know? Yeah. It's just gonna be a fatigue plan, just to win resources. Alright. That 5/6 dodged all of those.
Yeah. You gotta love that. And the lifesteal.
Yeah. Alright.
There's another crystal power. Yeah. I think Tuz is starting to run away with this. Like, obviously so low on resources and low on cards that even with the 2 bombs in Tuz's deck, he's very well insulated against that.
It's just a trade. Yeah, I mean Nozdormu, maybe even the crystal power this turn, and just
I guess you want to see where the bomb hits before you crystal power.
yeah.
Like if the bomb goes 4 to the face, you probably want a crystal power, but oh, Deathwing, really nice draw off the top for Aviously, being able to clear out both of these dragons for 2s. And then we just have a naked armorsmith.
Yeah.
There's a bomb.
And a bomb. Alright.
1 bomb left. That's the last dream portal. Get a 6/5 and then an iron bark.
Not bad. Start going out on the board here now.
Yeah. I mean, Overflow's dead here. You don't want to draw 5 at this point.
No.
You're just gonna fatigue first. We can Glowfly for 4 2/2s.
How curious.
I'm thinking, like, what can we be thinking that? What is? I mean, there's only like a couple cards left for Aviously. Like,
Yeah.
obviously it's a Wormhole Challenger is the last card left, but like, there's nothing else of. Like, I can't remember exactly what cards are left, but yeah, there's 1 card left. It's Skyraider. Jeez, and it's a green skin off of that. That's Aviously's done.
Yeah, there's just
I was trying to like think like if I'm 2s, like my opponent's only got a couple cards left, and like we know 1's the thing, but like I can't even think of any other card that's impactful that Aviously would have had left. Yeah, we're gonna take out this Armorsmith.
I like making use of that Wrath just to clear. At this point in the game, you don't want to draw anymore, but just use that to clear that off and guarantee nothing crazy out of hand in that 1 card.
Is there even a pirate that could do anything here?
I don't think so.
Yeah. There's Greenskin. And I mean, there's that last bomb. Gonna bring 2s down to 9. And 2s is 1 card away from fatigue, but doesn't matter at this point.
I mean, there's still a little bit of healing from this crystal power. You can also hero power every turn just for 1 more armor.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't matter though. Like, 2s is dead, or Aviously's dead next turn. Congratulations to 2s for not dying. I mean,
not die, then won. I mean, amazing.
I mean, yeah, sometimes the best offense is a great defense.
That's right. I mean, navigated those bombs really well, though. That was quite the game.
Yeah, those couple turns with the OG Isura out there, where he chose to keep his hand at 10 to avoid getting bombed. You know, the 1 turn where you're like, well, maybe they innovate, but then if we don't innervate, then like we'd
Yeah.
still get the card off of reserve. It'd still be at 10, but you know, really good to be, you know, be aware of like how bombs are going to affect your draws.
Yeah.
You know, definitely an exciting
Right.
game. So we have Bomb Warrior.
The light shall bring victory.
All right, so obviously got an end card to start with. And then a Shield Stream with Wormhole Challenger. Obviously playing first, choose on the coin, choose keeping a Disciple of Galakron, and then join into a Time Rip,
Greetings.
an Ooze, which is really nice against an Ankar, and a Shadow Word Death. Obviously draws. Go ahead.
Oh, this matchup is also really bad for the warrior.
I'd imagine.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty bad. So we.
Listen, I'm not. I don't want to, you know, make Aviously feel too bad.
Oh,
Started off 2-0.
I mean, there are going to be games. You know, it is not 100% win rate, so there is a chance that Aviously can navigate the game to try to sneak in the win here.
Right.
And I imagine that some of the plays that we will probably see throughout the game will reflect that plan of just trying to sneak something in and get the win.
So Ankar going to take out this Disciple. It's going to draw a Sky Ritter. Going to renew the draw for 2s.
I guess the question here is if you want to use the ooze now or if you want to wait to see a wrench caliber, but you could probably just remove this now and not give Ace the draw.
There's like no other play, so I guess, you know, if there's another play, maybe you save it, but
yeah.
I mean, you want to use your mana.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we do see that, and then Wrench Caliber is the draw for it.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then we got that. What's that 4-drop pirate? I can't place that one.
It's gonna have a battle cry that actually is gonna re-equip a weapon. So that could actually help.
It's Horde Pillager, right? Something like that. What's the name? Producer Major has confirmed that it is Horde Pillager. Thank you. All right. So we have a French Caliber from Aviously, but no attack. Yeah, so not attacking with the Wrench Caliber is, you know, I mean, increases a lot of heal, so maybe you don't want to do that right away. But choosing to attack here, now that we've drawn Blastmaster Boom, makes sense.
Yeah, setting up for next turn. Lead with the attack next turn and then play Boom.
Right. And I mean, 2's played the Ooze already, so we don't have to worry about it. We can take a little more time with our weapons.
You know, and there is no weapon removal in Aviously's deck, so Thought Steal or anything isn't going to give 2's more weapon removal.
So 2's getting an... No. I think it was Shield Slam, wasn't it? It was the last card, yeah.
All right.
So 2's whiffs on that. And we're gonna Penance. No. Deciding what to do here for 2's.
Quickly.
None of this seems super impactful right now.
Yeah, Thought Seize geez, too much magic. Thought Steal is going to it's gonna put you at 10 cards, so have to keep that in mind. Decides to Thought Steal and to Penance. Go heal up to 27. Aviously draws a Corsair Cache. Are we
Going for the cash.
lagging? My screen has stopped. Yeah.
Just gonna coin the Murs on here.
Think this is your time?
Gets a weapon. Plays the cash that doesn't do anything. Alright. Also holds back the weapon. No need to attack there. Not really killing anything. Doesn't matter about pushing damage to the face at this time. Alright. Obviously gonna go for the attack and boom this turn. Alright, so there are 5 boombots on board. How many of those do you think are gonna hit for 4?
Okay, I'm back. Did we had another wrench caliber come up, right?
Right.
So up to 3 bombs. Okay. Apologies for that. I was cut out of our I was disconnected for a brief moment there. But looks like Aviousley's developed quite the board off of that boom. So Tyr's thinking about Apotheosis on this.
Yeah.
On this dragon.
I mean, that I want to say it's kind of huge, and it literally, the minion itself is huge, but also this can soak up a lot of these bombs too.
Right.
So it's a very big play here.
Yeah. And holding the Shadow Word Death means we can go face with that 10 damage.
Yeah.
And take out Boom anyway. So we did soak up most of that damage with that dragon. 2's only taking 2. Going to 28. And then we have a brute not being able to rush into anything.
I like this though. You just saw some removal, just get something out on board again. This is a rough matchup for the Warriors, so just trying to get anything and everything down. And yeah, this pillager that's in hand, ideally, and the chances are good, I think, that it's going to put another wrench caliber out for Aviously too. So that's even more bombs, even more pressure that actually could swing the game slightly more in Aviously's favor.
Yeah, it's a 66% chance. It's going to renew here. She's going to go with a Dark Prophecy. And a Blade Storm off of the Thought Seal going to take care of both of these minions. And obviously, that was an error. Madame Lazul.
That Horde Pillager too.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Yes!
Yeah, this is insane.
Oh my god.
Alright, is everyone at home keeping track of all these bombs right now? Because there are bombs getting thrown in both decks just every turn.
That was the first bomb for Aviously, right?
I believe so. Yes.
I don't know where he would have gotten more bombs. I missed where the wrench caliber came from. Was that off of a Thought Steal? Or was that off like one of these
no.
Madame Lazul effects or something like that? I don't know. Yeah. All right. So a bomb hits for 2s. Bring to 23. There's 3 bombs left. Draw Disciple of Galakron. Let's see what we get. It's a Cycle Pump. We're gonna play this Katrina, which is another randomly generated card. Attack for 3. This is at 21. Second bomb. Katrina brings back an ooze. Draw another Bomb Wrangler. Obviously, he's gearing up to make a lot of armor here.
Yeah, I was just about to say, with that Armor Smith in hand and then the Shield Slam, can really help clear up some of this board.
If these bombs don't clear it up enough.
Well, one damage is not doing much, unfortunately, on that.
No. Armor Smith Shield Slam could do it. But maybe we're saving the Shield Slam? Because we're looking at that, considering the attack here.
Mm-hmm.
And finishing it off with the shields? No!
Oh, no.
That was an oops.
Still
So
has the
obviously-
hero power, though, but that, yeah.
Yeah, you... hate to see it. Oh, that Shadow Madness is rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, the... Obviously definitely valuing that Armor Smith. Because, I mean, you could have just Armor Smithed instead of using the Shield Slam there.
I wonder.
After the attack. Or if you Armor Smith, you could see maybe the bombs hit and kill Katrina, and then you don't have to worry about using either of the other things, but...
Yeah, this is...
Oh, this is rude, yeah. Mind Flare, oh my god.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in
I
this
think-
turn for two.
Bomb Priest looks like it's going to be beating Bomb Warrior.
I mean, that's what Priest is good at, right? They steal your stuff and beat you with your own things.
That's why I love Priest. That's why Priest is the only one I have a gold hero in right now. I'm like 7 wins away from a gold mage, but I have a gold Priest hero. I'm at like 650 or something. Definitely played a lot more Priest than anything else.
Right, that bomb did hit face for 4, so pretty good there.
Yeah.
Right. Oh my gosh,
Wow.
those are insane hits. A 4, a 4, and a 3. Wow.
Oh my god.
We could actually see the Warrior. This could be one in the few games where the Warrior actually can...
There's 5 bombs for 2s.
Gosh. Are we gonna see it?
No, okay. Not this turn. I don't think 2s can heal.
I mean, you can heal to 3 with the hero power, but I don't...
Right, not enough for the bomb, I mean.
No, I mean, even just dead to the weapon.
I
Mhm.
wonder.
What can he even do here?
Time rep into a taunt? You see the time ramp, then what do you have a... Can't place this minion right now. Dark Prophecy looking for a taunt. It's not a taunt.
Quickly.
That's gonna be the game. Wow.
Wow, just hit face, put another bomb in the deck and hope that
Right.
bombs
4
are in there.
bombs.
But,
Have to hit 4 in a row. There's 4 bombs.
yep, that's the only out.
And that's
Nope.
not it.
Wow.
Well
Jeez.
played.
Those
What
boom bots were brutal. I mean, I thought 2s was looking good there, and then just takes 10 to the face from boom bots,
Yeah.
and it's over. Holy crap! What a series there. That was
That
really
was
fun.
insane.
That was really fun. We had a fatigue. we had a fatigue match. We had that.
Yeah.
We had that bomb priest. But
Gosh, yeah.
unfortunately, yeah, Aviously got off to a strong 2-0 lead. 2s was able to even it out, but wasn't able to get there in game 5. Congratulations to Aviously. Going to be going on to our quarterfinals next week, playing against Primitive, I believe. Yes. So, and take a look at our bracket for next week. We have one more match that's yet to be played out between Matisse and Montu. So they're going to be playing against Ace 103. So we'll have that updated by next week or something by the time our decks are due. And I mean, we've got a really exciting playoff lining up here, especially no Glocko there with being the reigning champion. looking to
Yeah.
run it back and get 2 in a row.
Yeah, absolutely. And Primitive has been in the Aspirant series as well, kind of since its inception. So, sure, he's got to be feeling really good about being up there as well.
Yeah, this is my first season, so I'm not sure what the history is of these players and their involvement, but definitely. And we had 3 matches that went to 5 games.
Yeah, all 3
Which is-
matches.
Yeah, I mean, when you're watching, you just love to see that. You get to see more Hearthstone. You get to see more of those exciting plays that just get you.
Yeah.
That last game was, oh my god,
Yeah.
absurd. And the game with Nozari. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Just like bounced it. That was amazing. That game of Spell Druid versus Bomb Warrior. It's probably my favorite game that I've watched casting. So definitely shout out to Aviously and Twos for having a really well fought battle there.
Yeah. That was not quite the matchup that you'd expect that priest to struggle with, but oof, that whole series was just intense.
Yeah, for sure. All right, y'all. So I want to thank y'all for watching tonight. We appreciate you spending your time with us and cheering on these awesome players. Like we said, there's especially like we said earlier. I think Kaz said like the skill level has gone up so much since like the league inception. And like I've never played competitive Hearthstone before. I felt terrible, but it was super fun for me to participate. So definitely, we're going to be presumably doing a season 5 somewhere in the next foreseeable future. So we have links in our bio here to our website and Discord. So if you're interested and you want to play in our the next Hearthstone League, make sure you join our Discord. You'll get alerts when signups open up. If you play Magic, we also have our Venus and Mercury League, which is a showcase of female and non-binary players, and that similar structure. They're kind of staggered. So we're in our playoffs now. They're in the middle of their season. So they think week 4 is coming up next week. They took a week off, like we talked about in the intro, where this week, actually last night, they did a charity stream for Color of Change. So definitely want to, if you want to support something, it's definitely a great charity to support. I personally feel like I kind of owe it to help out a lot of the people right now who are struggling. It's rough. So, if you can support anybody, please do. So, but they'll be back with season 4 next week at Friday night at, I believe, 9 p.m. Eastern, and then we'll have our quarterfinals Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern again.
Absolutely. It's going to be hopefully a lot more series that go to game 5 to kick off those quarterfinals.
Yeah, I was worried. I was like, wait, Aviously's already winning. Like, this was quick. I only got to do 1 match. I want to get my time's worth here, so I'm really glad this one went to 5 because that was fun. So
yeah, it was. There were bombs flying all sorts of directions.
Dream portals going everywhere.
Oh my gosh, it had it all.
That was wonderful. So anyway, I'm Anna Jane MTG.
And I'm Dragon.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter under that handle as well. And I want to shout out as well to Major, who's doing our production behind the scenes. Can't do it without you. Send you all the props. Great job putting everything together.
Absolutely.
And we'll see y'all next week. Stay safe.